Let's hear it for our very own Walton Raider marching band. Ladies and gentlemen,
let's hear. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Tonight's starting lineup for your Walton Raiders. On offense, number 8, wide receiver Bailey. Left tackle number 56, Blake Landon. Left guard number 64, Eric Smith. Center number 68.
We have a little break from Lehigh University Mountain Hawk Soccer.
Right guard number
And we are ready to go. And Tim, this is just a huge game for the Raiders tonight. They came away with the big victory at Woodstock, 35-28 last week, in a victory where they were constantly fighting themselves. And now Milton comes in 5-1, and they are a powerhouse.
Yeah, Milton's a strong team. Coach Dixon talked about it on the show with you earlier this week. They had the loss to Roswell, which was, I think, a big surprise to a lot of people, even though Roswell's a solid team. But what really turned a lot of heads was earlier in the season in the non-conference or the non-region schedule when Milton shut out Norcross. That's what really got the attention of a lot of people, and people really began to realize, if they didn't know it already, this Milton Eagle football team is a very, very strong team.
And that was a game that was also on public TV. Tonight, this game will be on GPTV, but if you're watching us or watching the replay of Raider Vision, we're glad to have you along. The Raiders right now, their record's 2-5. We all know how we've gotten to that record. In the region, they have a record of 2-3. Milton's 5-1 with a 3-1 record in the region. Tim mentioned they lost to Roswell 35-33, 33-31, Tim, I think is what it was. They lost at Roswell. Last year, the Eagles took away a 28-21 victory against the Raiders, but the Raiders have a 13-4 overall series lead. And for a long time, Tim, Milton was that game that was always close. The Raiders found a way to win. Last couple of years, that's kind of turned itself over, and the Eagles have had the better upper hand against the Raiders.
Yeah, I was talking with Coach Dixon on one of the shows that I filled in for you, Kurt, about how there's been a little bit of a shift lately here in Region 5. For a lot of years, it was dominated by the East Cobb teams, Lassiter and Walton, and now it seems there's been a bit of a shift. It's shifted to the North Fulton teams and to the Cherokee teams, with Woodstock and Etowah and Cherokee all having strong seasons.
That's right. It's homecoming here tonight at Raider Valley. The classes of 89, 84, and 94 are here. They were announced earlier. Tim, what year did you graduate, 86?
86, yep.
So in 2 more years, Tim will be celebrating that big 30th reunion.
We've got some 86ers here. In fact, we've got an 86er over on the other side of the field over there. A good friend of mine that we played with here at Walton, Billy Bond, his 2 sons play for Milton. Will Bond is one of the starting wide receivers for the Eagles. So, and his other son Patrick. So yeah, there's all those classes you just mentioned being represented here tonight, but lots of members of other classes as well coming back to check out this big homecoming matchup.
So, Tim, one of the bits of news that came out, and it was in the paper today in the interview that Coach Dixon did with the MDJ, Josh White's going to start today. He did not play long last Friday. He was coming off of an injury, had a couple of issues with just his health and some turnovers. They sat him, came in. Addison Shoup came through, played a great game, was 10-16. But tonight, Josh is going to be back at the helm, running the offense for the Raiders, and a healthy Josh White, I think, is always a good thing for the Walton program.
Oh, it's outstanding. And what you found out last week was if something's wrong with Josh and Josh is not at 100%, Addison Shoup can come in, and you don't really miss a whole lot with Addison Shoup coming in at quarterback. The student section, when he came into the ball game last week, we're chanting Addy football, like Johnny football.
Right.
And he came in and had a tremendous game. He was a true field general out there, and really brought the Raiders back to victory. They were down 21-7 when he came in to take over, and he had a tremendous night under center for the Raiders.
Yeah, Shoup played very, very well. He was able to be mobile a little bit more than Josh had been because of the injury. You know, on the Milton side of the ball, Tim, it's all about defense. And Cortez Sapp, number 14, the senior linebacker, looking to be, in a lot of people's minds, the defensive player of the year in Georgia. Kind of one of those Robert Kimdichie type of profiles building with Mr. Sapp. Anytime you have a defensive player with the last name Sapp, you've got my attention, right?
Yep.
But defense is really what makes the engine go at Milton. Their offense is physical. They come right at you. But the defense sets up the game for them.
Yeah, it does. And you mentioned Cortez Sapp. He's the one that everyone knows about. He's the big name. But, Kurt, they're good across the board. This is a team that's only giving up 9 points a game, and that includes the 33 or whatever it was that you mentioned against Roswell. They shut out two-time defending state champion Norcross earlier this season. It's going to be tough to move the ball down the field against this Milton defense. But you know what? The Raiders' backs are against the wall. We saw this last week. They already had a lot of adversity stacked against them going into last week's game, Kurt, and they added to it, giving the ball away 3 times, which turned into 3 Woodstock touchdowns very early in that football game, and the Raiders were able to battle back and come up with the win. And now tonight, it's an even bigger stage. We're on GPB TV. Certainly Raider Vision trumps that, of course. But
absolutely.
And it's homecoming, and the Raiders are breaking out the new uniforms. So there's a lot of stuff going on here tonight, and this is a big, big game. And Walton realizes now, after last week's win especially, it's not over. They dug themselves a big hole with some off-the-field stuff, Kurt, but they've still got a chance to get back into the playoff hunt. Just got to take them one game at a time.
Well, Walton is definitely living in the one game at a time, one play at a time. The other thing, Tim, is that as you talk about the Raiders, special teams have not been very special in terms of Walton's performance because they've been creating turnovers off of our special teams. That's got to stop. And one of the things, and I know you get tired of hearing this, but one of the things that Adam would always say about special team players don't make plays; they just do their job.
Yeah.
And so the captains are at midfield.
Kurt, you talk about special teams. Walton did have some troubles with special teams last week, and it seemed like both teams really, Walton and Woodstock last week, had trouble snapping the football to the punter.
Yep.
And that was an issue for both teams last week. But one thing about special teams last week for the Raiders is they did break off a couple of long kickoff returns.
Yep.
Taquar Stewart had a long kickoff return, and Bailey Wolf had perhaps his best return as a Walton Raider returner.
Yeah, Coach Dixon talked about that during the show. Raiders sporting a new set of uniforms out there today. You can actually see the modeling of them on the website. I was a little disappointed it didn't ask Tim and I to maybe model a couple of the O-line uniforms, But Raiders look good. Tim, it was funny when I was out of town during the Pope game, and you and I always kind of text each other after the game and the next morning, and you said, oh, and by the way, the Raiders wore those dreaded black uniforms where you can't see the numbers.
So that added insult to injury. The loss was hard enough to take against a heated rival in the Pope Greyhounds, but on top of that, the black uniforms. I have a feeling you and I, we could probably arrange a break-in, get into the field house one night,
just
late
take
at night when no one's around, take them down to the practice field down there, pour some gas on them, and burn them.
Or just have, just make a quilt out of them or something that we could then sell for charity. But
that's a better idea.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Mine was destructive. Yours was productive. So.
We love Rocky, but that was one decision that we could have done without.
Well, I'm sure the kids influenced that as well.
Well, Milton comes out onto the field. Raiders behind the banner, the big homecoming banner. Always one of the great moments at Raider Valley when you're all back there as a team and you're poking holes in the banner and running out here into the lights at Raider Valley. One of the great thrills and one of the reasons you play high school football.
Oh, yeah, and this was when we were here, Kurt, me and Chuck Carswell, whose wife's sitting next to us up here in the press box, and Billy Bond, who I mentioned, whose sons are playing for Milton. When we were all here, this was our big uniform right here. That was a treat for us to get to wear the blue on blue.
Right.
The blue pants, blue jerseys, and it looks good tonight as they come through the homecoming banner there.
Well, one of the things that you might see on camera tonight is the drone. We have a drone now flying over Raider Valley. Either that or it's the world's smallest UFO, but
I've seen
Pete
smaller.
Ingo swears it's a drone. You've seen smaller.
I've seen smaller, yeah.
Raiders and Eagles tonight. I kept poking fun at Coach Dixon. Replay of the 1980 Super Bowl, and Raiders won that one.
Yeah.
Thanks to Rob Martin, the linebacker, and his numerous interceptions. The Raiders are going to receive. We're going to have, of course, the infamous clock man. We're going to have TV timeouts, real TV timeouts.
Yeah.
So, Elizabeth, when you're listening now, honey, that means you can go ahead and watch Hawaii 5-0, and I'll just watch it when I get home on tape. Because this game's going to be a little longer than the normal Raider Vision game.
There's the last bit of sun setting back behind the school, as you see there on our monitor. We had a beautiful sunset for that Pope game. Camera crew did a tremendous job getting several shots of that.
It's a special place in the fall. It's one of those places that we all love to come back to. And homecoming tonight is a packed stands. I drove in about an hour before the game, which I usually do, and parking was an issue already. But Tim, you did manage to find some barbecue. That was still we still had a little bit of that left over.
There wasn't much after I got done with it, though.
I saw you hit the banana cream pudding pretty hard over there.
When in Rome.
Yeah.
And this is the only place I hit the banana pudding is right here in Raider
Well, the
Valley.
banana pudding at Walton has a real tradition, because there was a time when it was the good luck charm, kind of back in those era, that 07, 08, 09 kind of era. That banana pudding was key.
We got to give the the barbecue place a little
Shout
plug
out?
here. Yeah, which I don't know who it is.
I don't either.
Oh my gosh. Maybe Pete might be able to tell us, but they do a good job. They feed all the crew that works the football games, the press box crew, the officials, and
The policemen, all of our policemen and sheriffs that are here,
you name it.
which is key because, I don't know if folks have ever seen this, but when Tim comes in, he requires an escort. I mean, he the autograph hounds,
All right.
Raider legend. I mean, he needs a police escort.
See, there's people. I get texts during the game sometimes. There's people that listen to us. There's people that listen to us, watch our webcast, friends of mine. And I get texts during the game sometimes, and sometimes people might not know that you're joking, Kurt. So the whole Raider legend Tim Burns thing, and the escort, he's joking if you didn't catch it.
Well, the name of the barbecue place is called Righteous Q, and I can tell you after a number of years of eating that very Righteous Q, it's delicious. So if you have a chance to support Walton football, and the people that do support Walton football, Righteous Q is our barbecue provider. And as I said, it's been great because there are just a number of people around the campus that support Walton football that people just don't see, and you get a chance to, have a little bit of tea and some banana pudding with them. It's a great way to kind of start those Friday evenings. And Tim, I'm glad to be sitting next to you tonight and not on an airplane trying to navigate my way to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. That's for sure.
Well, I can definitely tell you that we're happy to have you here, Kurt. Being up here by myself, and I say by myself on the mic. There's lots of people up here working in various capacities, but trying to do a game by yourself, which we talked about, you've done it before as well. It's just not the easiest thing, and so definitely glad you're back.
So Tim, my phone just buzzed, and I meant to ask you this while we were kind of sitting here, BSing before the game, but the Seahawks trade Percy Harvin to the Jets today?
Yeah, and I believe it was it a second and a fourth round pick?
It was it's a conditional pick between like the fourth round and the third round to the fifth round.
That's right, and there was a quote. Do you hear the quote by the GM?
No.
Of the Seahawks?
It
was very, very brief, and it was basically something to the effect of Percy didn't want to be a Seahawk, and we made it happen for him. And that was the end of the quote.
Well, Bailey Wolf, number 8, deep. Garrett Eldred, number 7, deep for the Raiders. Number 6, Jafar Stewart. And the official getting ready to kick things off here at Raider Valley. Ball teed up on the 40-yard line. Our announcement to get everybody on their feet. A very packed house here tonight. Pretty good crowd over on the Milton side, but God bless them tonight, man. That's a long, tough drive on Friday evening getting from Milton to Marietta. Number 12, Ethan Suda to kick off for the Eagles. Eagles versus Raider. We are ready to go on homecoming 2014 from Raider Valley. And Stewart's going to take the ball at the 1-yard line. He breaks it out over the right. He's at the 10. He's got a little bit of running room coming up the right side, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 22-yard line. And the Raiders will take over 1st and 10.
All right, so we'll get a look at this Milton defense that we talked about a lot. And the Walton offense with Josh White back there at quarterback.
Big defensive line for Milton. You can just see it from here. Definitely one of the bigger lines that we've seen. Raiders have 2 receivers here to the press box side. A lone receiver right. Josh keeps, and he's going to be a missed tackle. He gets up out over the 25, drives forward. He picks up a nice 5-6 yards up to the 29-yard line. Little read option there. Bring up 2nd down and 4 for the Raiders.
Very strong run by Josh White. Showed no lingering effects whatsoever from the foot injury, and he looked like he's fired up for this one with that run.
Josh is a competitor. You don't like to watch the other guy in your job, no matter how well they do, and that you came away winning the game. White back to pass. He's got time. He throws across the middle. Oh! Wide open and dropped by David Pigeon, the tight end coming down through the seam. That would have been a nice 15, 20-yard gain for the Raiders, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 4 for Walton. Raiders going into no huddle. Plays coming in from the sideline.
Pigeon's got to be kicking himself there. That ball hit him right in the hands, and he really should have hauled that one in.
That was a classic tight end play. That's the play that Gronk, and then kind of compound things. Dave jumps offside, so
Flag on the play.
tough back-to-back plays there for the senior tight end.
False start against the Raiders. That's a 5-yard penalty.
That brings up 3rd down and 9 for the Raiders, and that really changes things. You do not want to give this defense any additional advantage. Charlie Fault, your middle linebacker, your Mike. Now Josh rolls to his right. He's got some time. He needs to get rid of the ball. He throws it, and he's just off the fingertips of his receiver, Sam Letton. I thought Josh was throwing that away, and Sam made up some big ground there.
That would have been a tough catch, but I tell you what, that's no way to welcome your quarterback back to the lineup is 2 drops on the first series. I think both of those balls really could have been hauled in, but tough break for the Raiders, and they're going to give this Milton offense the football now.
Rugby punt by the Raiders. The ball's going to bounce at the 40. Good roll. And it's going to come to rest inside the 30. Still moving. And they'll mark that ball at the 28-yard line. So a nice punt for the Raiders.
It was Zach Starnes to down the football, one of the uniform models on the Raiders football website.
49-yard punt for the Raiders.
Milton ball. Correction, the ball was first touched at the 41-yard line. That's where Milton will take over.
Ball is marked at the 41, so it must have touched a Raider in the heel as the ball was coming downfield. And the Raiders will lose 13 yards on that exchange, 14 yards on that exchange. Pistol formation for Milton. First run is going to pick up close to 7 yards.
Yeah, we talked about the Milton defense, Kurt, before the game kicked off. We didn't talk a whole lot about their offense, and Miko Brisker is a tough guy to handle there in the backfield for Milton, and you saw some of that on that first run. He's not the kind of guy you're going to be able to bring down with arm tackles. You're going to have to gang tackle him to get him to the ground.
Got one of those kind of Michael Turner running styles. Big man kind of low to the ground. Milton goes to the air. They've got a wide open receiver at the 38-yard line, breaks a couple of tackles. And that'll be a 1st and 10 as the Eagles break into Walton territory.
That's the son of my friend. That's Will Bond.
Number 8, Will Bond for the Eagles.
Good for a first down. Brought down by KK Brooks, number 10.
And KK playing both ways again, playing cornerback and running back today. Eagles on the move quick. Here's a handoff to Brisker.
That should have been a hold, it looked like.
And Brisker picks up 6 yards, 5 yards we'll call it, and bring up a 2nd down and 5. The ball at the 29-yard line, and they are also in a hurry-up offense.
Brought down by number 33, Amani Parker, and number 23.
Parker on the tackle for the Raiders.
Second and about 4.
Here's another handoff to Brisker. He breaks, finds a little bit of running room, but the Raiders close it up quickly after Brisker picks up 2 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd down for the Eagles.
Garrett Eldridge in on the stop there. Had some help from, I believe it was Ryan Rogie. Ryan Rogie's been playing some good football for this Raider defense lately.
3rd down, and it'll be a long 3 for the Eagles. 2 receivers both sides, single running back behind Austin McLeod. Number 11, senior quarterback for the Eagles. Brisker, your running back, is also a senior. This is a senior-laden team. Oh, it's a fumble!
I tell you what, that is a huge break for Milton. He not only did he fumble it out of bounds, he fumbled it forward. And that fumble is what's really got him the 1st down, I believe, Kurt.
I think so. Yep. That was very unlucky for the Raiders. A couple of nice plays there by the Raiders, but a little bit of bad luck. And that brings up a 1st down. The ball resting between the 21 and 22-yard line. Motion by the Eagles. Handoff straight ahead. Chris Turner, number 7 for the Eagles on the carry. He picks up a yard or 2 yards. It'll bring up we'll call it 2nd down and 8. We're just not in sync tonight. We always try to work on that. So it'll bring 2nd up down and 9 for the Eagles. And we've got penalty on the play. Somebody up front jumped. Just a matter of which way this one's going to go.
It's going against Milton. It's a procedure penalty.
That's a good sign. So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 14 for the Eagles.
That's a false start against Milton. 5-yard penalty, 2nd and 14.
That Milton offensive line's big, Tim.
Yep. Trying to get all their numbers.
Leighton Weatherby, number 12, number 78, the offensive tackle, senior. We were saying just a minute ago, this is a senior team. This is a team that's kind of built to this moment, right, Tim? And we've seen them coming, and right now they're really reaping the benefits of that.
Some good
Cloud
pressure.
back to pass. Raiders, great pressure, and they get a sack. And that'll be a loss of almost 8 yards, and it knocks the ball back to the 32-yard line. And that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 20.
A lot of pressure from a lot of different guys on that play, Kurt.
One of the things I just love about this Walton defense, and Coach Dixon's a defensive guy. They don't look like much when you see them on the field, but boy, they come at you. They really come at you. Just in terms of their size. When you look at that Milton size versus our size, but they are a scrappy bunch, and I really like the way they play.
Well, after one of the early games this season, I ran into oh boy, now here I go. I'm forgetting. Ran into a parent of a former player. I'll remember in just a moment. Played for the played for the Patriots.
Oh yeah. I know. Right.
And I don't know if you want to say his name or not, but anyway, he coached this group, the juniors in particular, when they were coming up through the 7th and 8th grade ranks.
That is going to be right down the middle,
wow.
A 49-yard field goal.
That was a good-looking kick.
That was a good-looking kick.
So the gentleman I ran into after the game was talking about this group of juniors and some of the sophomores, and that's what he was saying, Kurt. They will come after you. They're a wild bunch, and there's some animals out there among the Raider juniors and sophomores, and they're really having to step up and perform this year because only 12, 13 seniors on this Raider roster, and you compare that to what you were saying with Milton.
Right.
Milton's loaded with seniors this year.
Well, one of the things about defense, and it's frustrating sometimes when you see defenses with a lot of talent. Defense is one of those things that aggressive attitudes will carry you a long way on that side of the ball. And this Walton team flies to the ball. They're angry when they get there, which is always a good sign. And they just have a lot of fight in them right now.
Yeah, that was a nice recovery to hold Milton to a field goal and force them to make a real long one. That was a beautiful kick there. Now let's see if our receiver, we're going to have this long TV timeout. We talked about this, but now we can, maybe they got some of the jitters out and they're working on their hands right here on the sideline right now. It's Sam Letton catching some balls over here during this timeout, but we'll see if our receivers can hang on to the football a little bit now, because Josh White threw some nice-looking balls on that first possession.
Well, I think the good sign was that Josh is mobile. His foot doesn't seem to be bothering him too much. He looked ready to go that first series. Yeah, it was a nice stand by the defense there. The Eagles had penetrated inside the 20. The penalty, short gain, a penalty, the sack, and Suda with the 49-yard field goal for the Eagles. Nice kick, lots of altitude right down the middle.
Got some other scores for you from games around the state. I'll give you some region games as well. Start right here in Region 5. Kurt, Woodstock on the road at Roswell, leading the Hornets 7-0. All these are going to be very early scores, first quarter scores. Down there in Region 1, a big matchup. The new member of Region 1, Lee County, is leading Lowndes 7-0 in the first quarter.
Right.
Hillgrove with a 3-0 lead on Kennesaw Mountain. That's in Region 4. Another Region 4 score is this is going to be a big matchup tonight. North Paulding and McEachern. That game is tied 7 apiece in the first quarter. And I wanted to give you a couple more. Over in Gwinnett County, Grayson leading Central Gwinnett 7-0. Grayson is having a strong year. They are undefeated. And another Region 5 score for you. The Lassiter Trojans have an early lead on Cherokee 7-0. That game being played at Cherokee.
Number 12,
Suda to kick off for the Eagles. Stewart and Wolf deep for the Raiders. And comes down right on the goal line. Chaquars takes it. He's at the 15, and he's right up to the 21-yard line, so the Raiders will start at the 21-yard line. 21-yard return by Stewart. Chaquars really got that tightrope catch down to where he almost turns sideways, so he doesn't go into the end zone. I love that. I love the fact that he just wants to run the ball up the field.
Yep, had a really nice return last week, like we said. I want to say it was over 70 yards, almost took it to the house.
Yep, he did, almost. Here's the first handoff to KK Brooks, and he will pick up no yardage on that carry. You have to know that the Eagles probably talked all week about saying we're going to stop KK Brooks and not let him run the ball tonight.
Well, it looks like just based on that size, the size of that defensive line, Kurt, it's going to be tough to run him in between the tackles. You might have to get him outside and see what he can do with his speed and moves on the edge there. But up the middle, that's going to be difficult.
White back to pass. He's got time. He's going to break out of the run. He breaks it across the 25. Still running. He's got the first down and a great run by Josh, and that'll loosen up a defensive line pretty quickly when you get that quarterback running around.
6'5", 225, Kurt, and there's no exaggeration in those numbers for him. He's every bit of 225, and he's rock solid and hard to bring down.
Yeah, he makes defensive backs, as they say, make career decisions when they see Josh coming. First and 10, Raiders with the ball at the 31. Here's a handoff to KK. He breaks it out across the 35, and he's hit and brought down immediately as he crosses the 35. It'll bring up second down, a pickup of 3 yards. Brings up second down and 7 for the Raiders.
KK and Cortez Sapp got to know each other on that play.
.6:10 left to go here in the first quarter.
Official timeout so they can fix Josh White's, get his jersey up over his shoulder pads again.
Second down and 7 for the Raiders. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. KK Brooks next to White. White drops back. So he's got immediate pressure. He's looking to run. Now he throws the ball downfield. He's got a receiver at the 50. It's Letton. And he picks it up, and he'll be brought down just across midfield at the Eagle 49-yard line, and it's first and 10 for the Raiders. Great play by Josh, and I got to tell you, when you can get a quarterback on the perimeter that can make his own time, it's a killer. I don't know if we're going to get a replay or not.
Well, it's hard with the no huddle, but you'll see Josh. Now, look, what I love about it is when he gets flushed out of the pocket, he takes the time to reset his feet, okay, right there, and then makes a great throw.
Another handoff to KK Brooks. He picks up another tough yard. So,
you know, a lot of the mobile quarterbacks, Kurt, they'll try to throw it on the run, and some of them can do it really well.
Right.
But quarterbacks coach will tell you, try to get your feet set. And Josh White did a great job on that to pick up the first down on the connection to Sam Letton.
Yeah, you don't have to cross the line of scrimmage to be a great running quarterback. You just have to create time. And, you know, Josh has done a great job of that the first series where there were a couple of drops. But, you know, Ben Roethlisberger is always the one they talk about. Ben doesn't run downfield much, but, boy, he sure tries to create time. 2nd down and 9 for the Raiders. Ball at the 48-yard line of the Eagles. Josh back to pass. Immediate pressure again. He looks downfield. He's got Letton once again, and that's going to be close to a first down. And where that official has it marked on our side, I believe it will be a first down.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, Josh is really throwing the ball well.
Yep, and I'm saying we go with this official spot because I like it. You're right. It is going to be just enough for a first down if they use his spot. They don't, though. They're spotting it back there.
So forward progress. The forward progress rule changed last night in Georgia football. Well, unfortunately, that brings up a 3rd down and 3 instead of a 1st and 10. Here's a handoff, no throw, and it's tipped, and Letton drops the ball. And he was hit hard. And that brings up 4th down and 3 for the Raiders.
This is kind of that no man's land. I mean, you can punt it away, but you know, just based on this field position, I think you know, we might see the Raiders try to draw Milton off sides, but I think with the field position right here, it's a good time to try to go for it on 4th down.
I like getting Josh on the corner and letting him decide whether he's going to run or pass.
I like that.
And he drops straight back. He gets immediate pressure in his face. He rolls to his right, and he's going to run and pick up the first down unless there's a new spot rule that I've really missed. Oh, no, they didn't. There we go. Great play by Josh. He is really reacting very coolly to pressure coming right in his face. I mean,
sure is.
I really like the way he's just taking his time. Here's the replay.
And Josh does the smart thing: get the yardage you can and get on out of bounds. You know,
I don't need my run. I don't need my quarterbacks playing Larry Zonka.
Well,
dating myself there, but that would mean running into people hard.
Not a good sign right there. Sam Letton's got to come out of the ball game. Looks like his left arm or shoulder.
Yeah, he got spun down on that tip ball. Here's a handoff to KK. He dances across to the 35 and up to the 31. Nice 4-yard run by KK. KK's a patient runner. That's the thing I like about him, Tim.
Yep, we've seen that a lot. You know, Tyron was a lot of things, but Tyron was also a very patient runner. He would let his blocks develop.
2nd and 6 from the 31-yard line.
Why run somebody over when there's a big guy coming? Here's another handoff to KK. He bounces it outside, runs into a lot of traffic, and he's going to lose a yard, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 7 for the Raiders. Now, we have seen that the Raider coaching staff, though, Tim, will be very, very patient with the running game. They're not going to abandon it. They'll mix it in. They'll keep you honest.
Well, now we got a 3rd and long here without the big target, Sam Letton. He's getting worked on by the trainers over here on the sidelines.
And it's a first down, and I believe is that Bailey Wolf? It is.
Josh White pass complete. Number 8, Bailey Wolf.
Kurt, I'll go ahead and say, just from my perspective, watching the game last week, Bailey Wolf might have been the player of the game last week for Walton. Had probably his best game as a Walton Raider.
Coach Dixon was very pleased with how Bailey, you know, kind of as a senior, had that switch click in his head.
Yep. Made an incredible catch for a touchdown.
Here's Josh again, kind of running to the right. He's going to be stacked up, and he'll lose a couple of yards. It'll bring up 2nd down, and we'll call it 12. This is one of the things, Tim. If you're a senior and you don't win these games, your football season, a lot of these guys, you're not going to play football again.
Yep, you're right. And you always want to win your homecoming game.
Absolutely. So 2nd and 13 for the Raiders. Josh lost 3 on that. He got pinched over there on the sideline. There just wasn't any room, and the defensive flow caught up with him. Now he drops straight back. He's got time. He breaks this one. Now he's going to straight up the middle, and we've got a flag, and I think we're going to have a holding penalty. Thrown back on the 35-yard line. That one's going to hurt a little bit.
Yep, it is holding.
Holding against the Raiders.
Josh had picked up 4 or 5 yards with a run right up the middle. But both of those flags were thrown simultaneously from referees on opposite sides of the field, but it was one of those holds that it was a defensive lineman and an offensive lineman all by themselves where everybody could see it.
It's going to be
That hurts.
2nd down and 30 right here, Kurt.
We got them just where we want them, Tim.
Got to get to the 14 for a first down. Ball spotted at the 44.
All right. Well, that makes it easy for math majors like us.
I like your optimism, though. Got them right where we want them.
Exactly. So 2nd down and 30, ball on the 44-yard line. Josh in the shotgun. KK Brooks stands to his left. 2 receivers here to the left side, 1 to the right. White straight back to pass. He looks, he's got time. And he's got a receiver. It's Wolf again, and he picks up almost 10 yards to the 34, so it'll bring up 3rd down and 20.
That's Cole Watts making that reception. It is hard to differentiate the 9 and the 8.
Yeah, it sure is.
Especially with our 40-something-year-old eyes.
Those new uniforms, we're adjusting. Well, Bailey Wolf and Sam Letton are here to the near side, so. Wolf back to pass. He's got time. Now he's got pressure. That's a dangerous pass. There was 1 blue shirt and 5 white jerseys in the area. Josh got away with 1, and what do we got here?
The flag coming kind of late there, I think. I don't know if it's going to be a hold or a roughing the passer or what. It is going to be a hold. Well,
it looked like it was Josh and one of the Eagle defenders. I couldn't tell what was going on.
They're going to decline that, so it'll be 4th and it's about 20, I guess. And
well, I think you go for it here, right? I mean, there's no reason to do anything other than to.
That would be a 51-yarder? They're going to try a 51-yarder here?
Or are they going to punt?
Well, to me, punting doesn't make sense. They're going to line up to punt it. I don't understand this. I think you either go for it or you try the long field goal. Milton's lining up like they're expecting a fake.
Matt Fitzpatrick punts it. It's going to be a good one, Tim. Don't let it bounce. And that one's going to turn out perfectly.
You know what? That's why I'm not a coach. And, every time I try to question the coach, they make me look bad. And that ended up working out really well.
Fitzpatrick with a nice kick there as he drops that ball inside the 5.
Getting near the end of the first quarter, Kurt. 1:50 left to go.
Eagles have the ball at the 5-yard line. They're 95 yards away. They lead 3-0. Here's a handoff to Brisker. He breaks it across the 5. He's brought down at the 9. He picks up 4, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 6.
Brisker on the carry out to about the 8-yard line, brought down by Bennett Wilson, number 52.
Raiders need to keep the Eagles pinned down here, make them punt the ball, and let's get some short fields for ourselves. And here's a pass downfield, good coverage by KK. Ball intended by Fortune.
Pass intended for number 1, Obi Fortune, incomplete. KK Brooks on the coverage.
Fortune covered by Brooks, and KK had that one literally all the way. He really did.
Yeah, well, when the quarterback decided to throw the ball, McLeod, there was a little bit of separation between Brooks and Fortune, but KK just kind of turned his head the other way towards the sidelines and was able to make up the ground, and the ball was overthrown anyway.
3rd down and 6. Eagles have the ball, turn, hand off to Brisker. He's up the middle. Raiders need to shut him down, not let him get forward. And they hold him, and that'll bring up 4th down. And then it looks like the Eagles are going to have to punt with 1:09 left here in the first quarter.
Carry for a short gain.
Tim, that's one of the things that, for those of us that live in Atlanta, we all know that getting off the field in 3rd down is a big deal.
Yeah. Seriously.
The Raiders were able to do that. The Falcons haven't done it all season, except against the Buccaneers.
Yeah. I don't know if you're, well, we got this punt here.
Punt is away. Punter, a little dramatic down there. Referee does not throw a flag, and the Raiders will take over with the ball marched at the 47-yard line. So that turn of events went pretty well for the Raiders.
Yep.
You were going to say?
They flipped the field on them. Talking about the Falcons, I don't know if you remember back during the preseason, might have been, when Hard Knocks was going on with the Falcons.
Right.
There was some talk about, probably some reporter brought it up to Julio and Roddy, are you the best wide receiver duo, and they said that they were, and the only other duo that was really close was the Bears with Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey, and I'll finish that after this play here.
White rolls to his left. He's got immediate pressure, and he just doesn't even get a chance to get rid of that ball, and that's just a terrible negative play for the Raiders. He kind of ran into that one and got a little indecisive, and it cost him.
Yeah, the Raiders were able to flip the field on the field position. But that one flips it right back. A huge play for the Milton defense.
Well, I would say based upon the results of last Sunday that the Bears receivers came out on top on that one.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
My goodness.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question anymore about the best duo.
Yeah, I think Matt Ryan's football card must show him laying on his back with 2 defenders on his chest.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Raiders trail 3-0. They have the ball, but it's 2nd down and long as we take a break here. Raider Vision doesn't take TV timeouts, so we'll stick around here. Yeah, the Raiders have moved the ball, Tim. Had to start with some long fields. That made it tough on them. But that last sack, that was a devastating sack. That one cost the Raiders almost, 10, 11 yards.
Yep, it's going to be 2nd and 22 for Walton to start the second quarter. So still pretty good field position, but you want to move the chains, and to do that, they're going to have to get to the Milton 37. I can give you some scores from around the state. In Gwinnett County, Archer leading Shiloh 10-0. Tift County and Camden County down there in Region 1, those teams both 5-2, and they're tied 14 apiece in that ball game. Brookwood is trying to knock off unbeaten Decula. Brookwood leads that one 10-7. Lassiter and Cherokee now tied 7 apiece. Alpharetta up there in Region 6. They lead Chattahoochee 14-0. Grayson still leads Central Gwinnett 7-0. It is, what else do we have here? North Paulding leads McEachern 14-7. Roswell now on top of Woodstock 14-7. And Valdosta, there's a big one down there in Region 1. Valdosta leading Colquitt County 3-0. South Cobb trails Langston Hughes 7-0. Pope Wheeler are scoreless. That one is in the first quarter. What else do we got? See anything else interesting? I think we're getting down into the lower classifications. There's a Cobb County school, Kurt, that's really just ever since they opened has been playing very good football, and that's Allatoona.
Yep.
Unbeaten right now. They lead Hiram, or they're tied with Hiram rather, 7 apiece. That one's in the first quarter.
Allatoona is what classification, Tim?
I want to say they're 5A with Kell.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. Right,
Yep.
right.
And Kell is also unbeaten. They lead Riverwood 14-0.
That Riverwood Stadium is a nice place to go see a game on a Friday night where it's kind of tucked in there in the neighborhoods, and they are also the Raiders.
I think they're similar colors too, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They are.
So looking at this Walton schedule, you got to take them one game at a time, but just 2 regular season games remain after tonight They got next week off, so that'll give them lots and lots of time to prepare for a scary game against Cherokee on October 31st.
You know, that's been a place that recently the Raiders have had no trouble, but it's also a team that there's been some horror shows that have taken place up there.
It's going to be frightening. It's going to be frightening on Friday, October 31st. That's for sure. And then we got the season finale right here in Raider Valley on November 7th as Walton will host Etowah. Etowah's got one of the top running backs in the state, but Rashad Devison, but he was shut down by this Milton defense.
Yeah, Milton put a beating on Cherokee. It was 23-0 last week. And the Raiders face a 2nd down and long. 2nd down and 20 on the scoreboard. Raiders now heading to the north end zone. Josh fakes. He holding the ball way too long, Josh. You got to get rid of it because they're coming.
Either that or run. You know, he got himself some room when he escaped the pocket the first time. Kirk got himself some room over there, was trying to get it downfield, set up to throw, and then the pressure was on him again. At that point, you got to take off and just try to get whatever you can. But now we got a 3rd and very long, 3rd and 22.
Well,
3rd and 25, rather.
25. And he locked on Sam Letton just a little bit too much on that one. And Sam was not able to get open. They kind of had him forced over to the sideline. So that brings up 3rd down and long. And Milton has got the Raiders on skates going the wrong way. As a quarterback draw. And he is going to be hit, but he gets away, breaks loose, and he gets the ball back up over the 50, close to the 45, 44 near the original line of scrimmage. And that makes a big difference in terms of flipping that field position again. That gives you a good idea of how big Josh is because he just ran right through the arms of one of those defensive tackles.
He is a tough runner. He's upset. He didn't get the first down, but that was a tough run.
Fitzpatrick, the sophomore, into punt.
Josh White, a little pep talk from Coach Dixon.
That was close. A little too casual in those rugby. But it's a fumble.
That should be a
it's
touchdown.
It's going to be a muff.
That should be a touchdown for the Raiders. Oh, you can't advance the muff. Oh.
They're going to call the muff, but that's going to be a really good play for the Raiders. This is going to bring up a 1st and goal on the 4-yard line. You know, Tim, we averted disaster there.
Kurt, I'm going to tell you, to me, there seems like there's been a shift in special teams, either coaching or just the players aren't paying attention to their duties. But you'll see a lot of kick returners these days. We get the replay here. Just gets the kick off in time. Didn't catch that in the replay, but you see the receiver try to catch the ball up above his head.
Yeah, on the 10-yard line.
It used to be the old standard would be that's the one time you actually do catch the ball up against your body is on a kick return. You know, when you're catching a football, a pass from the quarterback, you want to catch it with your hands. When you're returning a kick or a punt, the standard used to be
cradle it into your belly.
Yeah, catch it up against your body. There seems to have been a shift in recent years of returners trying to catch the ball up over their head, and I just don't understand it.
Well, the Milton receiver did exactly what he was told to do, which was put your heels on the 10-yard line, and if it's over your head, don't catch it. Well, it came right at his head, and it created that challenge for him. He reached up, and with that rugby punt, that ball was kind of slicing kind of into him, and he just misread the kick. Fitzpatrick barely got that one away. 2 Milton linemen were bearing down on him, but this turns out to be a beautiful turn of events for the Raiders as they have 1st and goal just inside the 5. And I think we're going to see a little bit of the express here. Josh is going to go up under center. Morgan is your fullback. Here's a handoff to KK, and he's going to go into the end zone for a Walton Raiders touchdown.
Oh, that's huge.
And the Raiders take a 6-3 lead.
You know, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Not saying the Raiders aren't good, but you got to have some lucky breaks sometimes to beat a really good team, and that was a huge break for the Raiders, and they were able to capitalize.
Fitzpatrick, the sophomore, will kick.
Fitzpatrick in for the extra point. Benson pulled on the hold.
And that's up and right through the middle. And the Raiders take a 7-3 lead with 10:17 left in the second quarter as the Raiders take advantage of the turnover, and KK Brooks takes the ball in from just inside the 5. And the Raiders, huge turn of events.
We'll get one more replay here on this KK Brooks touchdown. Look at the patience. You talked about his patience early on, and we see the defender kind of get into the backfield a little bit. KK patiently sidesteps him, lets him run by before he continues on towards the goal line, and that was a nice little piece of running on a 4-yard touchdown run by KK Brooks.
Well, Morgan sledgehammered 2 guys on the edge. He took out the defensive end and took him right into the tackle, so great blocking there by the Raider fullback.
Number 98, John Randall will kick off for the Raiders.
John Randall doing the kicking duties. A lot of sophomores kicking for the Raiders right now.
Yeah.
Number 19, Chris Franklin, back deep for Milton.
Have to start handing out some of Adam's kicking coaching cards.
There you go.
And a pooch kick, and that's going to actually land at about the 19. Raiders need to shut this down. Too much. Had a chance to pinch him at about the 30-yard line.
Nice return right there.
Yeah, you got to get those pooch kicks a little higher than that. So the Eagles will take over at the Raider 49-yard line. About a 30-yard return for the Eagles. First down, Milton. Raiders defense needs to come up stout again like they did last time. Eagles trailing 7-3.
We got a injured Raider down there.
With the cramps.
Trying to get the, I don't know if it's 23 or 33 or if I'm even close. If it's 33, it's Amani Parker. 23, Taji Stewart. It is Taji Stewart. And I don't know if it's a cramp. Looked like he's kind of reached down for his ankle. Raiders have already had some turnover in the secondary. Can't really afford to lose another one.
No, injuries have not been the Raiders' friend this year, that's for sure.
He's able to get off the field on his own. I expect we'll see him back in there pretty shortly.
Raiders defense ready to go. Your quarterback is Austin McLeod, number 11 for the Eagles. Looks like Chris Turner, number 7, is your running back right now. Behind McLeod. Handoff to Turner, and he is going to be brought down immediately after a 1-yard gain. Second down and 9 for Milton. Huge crowd, Tim, tonight in front of us. Just a huge crowd. Student section is packed.
Yep.
Second down, and we'll just say 8 yards.
Beautiful night for football, too.
Oh, it's perfect tonight. Great weather. It was 78 degrees here in Atlanta today. No humidity. This evening it's going to be in the low 60s. Perfect night for football in the South. And that's coming from a boy from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
All right, 3rd and short now.
3rd down and 3 for the Eagles. They pick up a 4 yards on that quick pass, quick out route to the Milton sideline. I think Brisker's back in at running back. You know, that's our old play.
Yeah. Walton's trying to say that they got drawn off, and they may have. They did.
They did.
I thought we had just given them a first down.
Yep.
And Walton actually got drawn off.
Well, you know, a lot of the old Milton coaching staff came from Walton, and we used to run that play to excess, and you know, Milton's running it now, and the number of times we'd see teams jump off sides when we would run that play. That brings up 3rd down and 8. Raiders need to hold here. Here's the handoff to Brisker. He comes up to the outside. Good pressure on the edge by the Raiders. Don't let him cut inside. Good pursuit. And he is brought down at the 44-yard line after a gain of 5 yards, and will bring up a 3rd down and 5.
That was 33.
Fourth down and 5, excuse me. 4th down and 5.
33 for the Raiders, meet 33 for the Eagles. Amani Parker and Miko Brisker.
Brisker kept taking it out as far as he could. He was looking for that. He kind of found a little daylight to cut it up inside, but the linebackers did a great job for the Raiders of following to the ball. The cornerback to this side, I don't know which one it was for the Raiders, did a great job of.
That ball was almost blocked.
High tumbling kick.
You had to say tumbling, didn't you?
Well, it was a tumbling kick. Well, see, was that KK? See,
Yeah.
KK did exactly what you wanted to do. He just caught it in his body. He just
Yeah.
wrapped his body around it.
Exactly. Tell you what, Lassiter has had a tough season this year, but they've got a 21-7 lead on Cherokee. That one's saying first quarter score in that one. Lee County has a 2-touchdown lead on Lowndes, 28-14.
Raiders 1st and 10 at the 10. Handoff to Brooks. He's up over the 11 to the 15 to the 16, spins down to the 17, and KK picks up 7 tough yards. And KK's finding a little bit of daylight now, Tim.
Yeah. Earlier I said it's going to be really difficult to run in between the tackles against this Milton defense, but that was a very nice piece of running and great job of blocking also by the Walton front.
Morgan in at fullback. Here's a handoff again to Brooks. He pushes forward. He's going to be a yard or two short. But it does look like the Raiders are bringing Morgan in to give KK a lead blocker to clear out some of that noise up there on the defensive line.
Yep, that's been a very key position in this Walton offense for years, that fullback position. In fact, KK's brother was an outstanding fullback.
Sure was. Dylan Taunt, a bunch of those guys. Mike Gothard.
Oh, my gosh.
Still the greatest stiff arm in football I've ever
You
seen.
do not want to meet him in a dark alley, that's for sure.
You know, he lives in East Cobb now. He's married and lives here in East Cobb. Saw Mike at Tijuana Joe's not too long ago. Motion, pigeon moved, the defender rolled him, and we're going to go backwards. That's a killer penalty. That's the second time Dave jumped off sides.
Ball start against the Raiders. 5-yard penalty. It's third and a long 5 or a short 6.
You know, I've only known Coach Dixon now for 2.5, 3 months, but I don't think mental errors are high on his list.
No, you could pretty much say that about just about any coach.
Yeah. White back to pass. He's got time. He's flushed, and he's going to go down. And, boy, he was really holding that ball out in a very dangerous fashion.
Sure was.
And the Raiders will end up having to punt the ball from their own end zone as Josh is tackled on the 7. You know, early in the game, Josh was moving from that pressure. Now he seems to be kind of getting caught up in some of that traffic.
Well, part of that is tunnel vision. You know, he, like you said, you lock in on a receiver. You're really hoping he comes open and you want to get him the ball. But, you got to scan the field, go through your progressions. And when you got to run, you got to run.
I think that the Eagles are going to be coming hard here, Tim. Rugby punt. Fitzpatrick, that's going to be a good one. It's going to roll for a while. Don't let it hit you. That's a great punt. And it's going to come down at the 44-yard line, and we'll take that one.
I see. I'd be down on my hands and knees blowing on that football, just seeing how line 3 or 4 guys up and all get them, get some good wind going, try to blow that ball a few more yards down there.
Get one of those British Open putts where the wind just pushes the ball across the green. Now the Raiders and the Eagles are exchanging punts right now. Austin McLeod, your quarterback for the Eagles. Brisker behind him. Turns, handed Brisker over the right side, and he is hit immediately by the Walton linebacking core. And Brisker will pick up 1.
Brisker is tackled after a short
There's obviously still a lot of football left to play here, Kurt, but we talked so much and so glowingly about the Milton defense, but this Walton defense, so far, so good. They've done a tremendous job.
Tim, last week's a great example. 28 points were scored by Woodstock. Defense gave up one of those touchdowns,
yep.
Or maybe one
Basically,
and a half, maybe.
Yep.
No, this defense doesn't give up a lot of points. Quick pass out by McLeod. That's going to be
I think it's right at the first down marker. Probably going to be. Oh, it looked like they spotted it back a little bit.
The spot on this side, it looked like his foot stepped out of bounds, so that'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
They're getting Tajee Stewart taped back up over there.
I suspect we might see Mr. Brisker here. Handoff straight ahead, and he is hit and stopped by the Walton defense.
Obi Fortune's trying to say first down, but the spot is not going to give him a first down. Great job by the Raider defense.
Well, there was a handoff straight ahead to Brisker, and the Walton linebackers just shot those A gaps, and there they were. And they're not even going to try to go for it here. That surprises me a little bit.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Looks like these two coaches, for right now at least, are content to just punt it back and forth. If they're not able to pick up a first down.
Punt spinning in the night.
Oh boy, KK, that's twice now where he's caught the football going to the ground, and
KK's got that sliding center field catch down to perfection right now.
Well, I don't know if that's by design. And he called for the fair catch. That to me looked like one of those that he may have been able to catch on the run and maybe make something out of that one.
TV timeout here from GPB TV.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful.
It tied my tongue up earlier as well.
Also want to make sure we thank our Valley View meal sponsors this year.
We're going to give you some scores just because we've got some time while the TV people are paying their bills. Region 1 score, Tift County, Camden County tied 14 apiece. That one's in the second quarter. Also in the second from Gwinnett, it is Archer leading Shiloh 10-0. Lassiter has a 28-14 lead on Cherokee. That game being played at Cherokee. Brookwood still leads Decula 10-7. Decula unbeaten. Another unbeaten team from Gwinnett. Grayson is leading Central Gwinnett 7-0. That one in the second quarter. It is Lee County with a 14-point lead on Lowndes, 28-14. North Cobb leads Marietta 14-7. That one's in the second quarter.
Right.
McEachern has jumped ahead of North Paulding, 15-14 is the score in that one. Also from Region 5 is Roswell leading Woodstock 14-7. Colquitt County has taken a 7-3 lead on Valdosta. That one still says first quarter. And Pope and Wheeler are tied 14-14 in the second quarter.
And Boise State leads Fresno 7-3 in the first quarter.
That's a team that's kind of fallen off the last couple of years, Boise State.
KK breaks it out over the 20 to the 21-yard line. He picks up 5 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5. The Raiders are really struggling with field position, Tim. They have been – last drive started at the 10. This drive starts at about the 15, at the 16. The other thing that's hurt the Raiders, and this has happened to us twice, where we've had 3rd and short, a penalty.
Yep.
And both of them motion penalties. Raiders need to clean it up a little bit. Otherwise, they're going to struggle with this Milton team. But the Raiders do lead 7-3 here. Here's a handoff straight ahead to Morgan, the fullback, and he will get the ball back to the line of scrimmage.
Morgan up the middle for a short gain. Tackled by Nick Steinhaus, number 96 for Milton.
Shot of the Walton student section wearing the pink breast cancer awareness body paint.
I had my breast cancer awareness shirt on for the show on Monday night, the Mo Dixon show. Handoff to KK, and he is really swept up in a lot of traffic, and he's going to be knocked down for no gain, and that'll bring him a 4th down and 5. And what started off as a really nice first down gain results in the next 2 runs in absolutely 0 as the Milton defense responds. And Milton and Walton right now playing a little tennis match of punts.
Yeah, for the folks who thought they were going to get themselves a good TV game tonight, I feel sorry for them watching all these punts go back and forth, but still a lot of time left in this football game.
Here's Fitzpatrick's punt. And it comes down at the 48-yard line, and it's caught, and he falls down too. Chris Franklin, number 19, for the Eagles on the catch. Chris, a senior wide receiver for Milton. And it brings up first down. The ball will be spotted at the Eagle 47. Both teams really had a host of 3-and-outs here. McLeod, your quarterback. Brisker, your running back. Neither team really able to get much going, but Milton has definitely had the benefit of better field position, and that ball's picked off by the Raiders. Garrett Eldred for the Raiders read that slant pattern, steps in front of the pass. McLeod never saw him. First down, Raiders.
You know what? For a linebacker, Garrett Eldred makes a heck of a defensive back. I believe that's his 3rd interception this season. We're going to get a replay here. And just stepped right in front of it, like you said, Kurt, got his big paw up there, batted the ball up in the air, and it came right back down to him. And a great job by Garrett Eldred to give the Raiders some momentum here.
That was perfect. I mean, that's exactly what they teach you to do as a linebacker. Read the quarterback's eyes, step into the passing lane, and McLeod saw his big tight end. I think that was number 85, Jake English, and Jake was waiting for the ball, but Garrett stepped right in there, and the Raiders are on the move here with the ball at the 41-yard line of the Eagles. Let's cash in here, boys. And what do we have? We jumped again. We jumped again. Come on, guys.
Yeah, that is interception number 3 on the season for Garrett Eldred.
Right now, the Raiders are in a self-destruction mode, and it's getting a little frustrating because the penalties, and they're jumping off sides, which is you got to focus, guys. Here we go. Josh straight back to pass. He's got plenty of time. Throws it across the middle. Oh, dangerous pass.
Well, Sam
Letton wants to say he was held, but I think he just more or less just ran into number 43, Charlie Fault, the middle linebacker.
Get the replay here of this one. As you see, all the time in the world for Josh, and he steps into that one, and he kind of got screened a little bit. It didn't look like he got held, but he did get screened by a defender who kind of just stepped in front of him.
2nd down and 15 for the Raiders. Josh back to pass. Protection breaks down, but now Josh is flushed to his right, and he overthrows Letton.
A little too much on that pass that time from White to Letton. But he had him open. We saw in the very first possession for the Raiders, we saw some drop passes. And, here's another one that was probably a little overthrown. And these are missed opportunities.
Wolf and Watts here to the near side. Letton is to your left. 4 receivers. Roll out. Pursuit by the defensive line. Josh throws it on the run. It's caught.
It's Cole Watts.
Cole Watts, number 9, and Cole's going to be about a yard short. I think the Raiders need to go for it here, Tim.
This time I think they definitely should. The whole exchange of punts has been exciting.
Oh,
don't get me wrong.
Thrilling.
But I think this is a situation where you can go for it. And I'm saying quarterback sneak. Well,
and I think the Milton defense was thinking quarterback sneak.
Yeah, they took my suggestion. He may have got just enough for it. Look at Coach Dixon all the way out there at the 30-yard line pointing first down.
If only he had a black and white striped shirt on, I'd feel better about this, right?
They may bring out the chain gang to measure this one.
It's going to be close. I thought the first spot looked good. The referee coming in from the right here looked pretty good, but I think we got it. I've got binoculars, Tim. Here we go. I think we have it. I think we're going to get it by about half the ball.
All right. Well, if it's half the ball, I'm saying the officials, should be able to tell that. I hope you're right. Here they come.
There we go. Half the ball.
Come on. Are you sure it was half the ball?
Oh, absolutely, man.
That's a big one. That's a big one. first downs are not easy to come by against this defense. That is big right there.
Well, that was a great catch by Cole Watts on the run. I mean, to get them in that position. And then, the Patriots do a lot of quarterback sneaks because Tom Brady is a big, long guy. And, Josh got just enough, and that's all we needed. Here's a handoff to KK. Now Josh keeps it. Oh, my goodness. He is crushed.
That's Cortez Sapp.
I don't think Mr. Sapp went for the pump fake.
Yeah. Yep, he is a player. No doubt about it.
Has he committed anywhere yet?
That I don't know. I know he's getting looks from just about everywhere.
Sure.
See what I can find out.
Second down and 16 for the Raiders. Josh on the run again, looking downfield, floats one towards Letton. That's caught but out of bounds.
Yeah, it was a good catch, but he was a couple steps out of bounds.
Wide pass intended for Sam Letton is out of bounds. It's third down.
Got a replay here, and you'll see Josh rolling out to the right, being pursued. Good blocking up in front of him, and just led Sam Letton right out of bounds. And somebody got knocked on their keister by big Sam Letton.
I'll tell you one thing right now, Tim, with the way that the motion is going, if we ran a little bootleg action right now, I think Josh would have 5-10 seconds to throw the ball because the pursuit is just crashing down from the backside. Josh back to pass. Now he's flushed out to his right. He's got time. He needs to keep it, run up the sideline, run over somebody, and
well, we're going to have another fourth and short here, and that was a good block on the outside by KK Brooks, and that's a part of KK's game that I think not a lot of people really talk about. I mean, KK's an outstanding running back, but a big part of that, Kurt, is his blocking. You'll see on max protect on pass plays, KK stays in, and watch this block on the outside by KK right there at about the 35-yard line, and that freed up Josh White to get really close to the first down.
What I like the fact is Josh kind of flew through the air, did his Superman impersonation, and gained about 4 or 5 yards from where he was hit to where he landed. All right, so Tim is checking the computer here where all the stars.
Well, trying to find Cortez Sapp, see if he's committed anywhere, but he's he will one day if he hasn't already. He's a tremendous player. And I'm getting down into the 3 stars. All these different sites have their various rankings, and one site will have a guy as a 4-star, another site, no, he's only a 3-star.
Right.
And
then a lot of them end up in the NFL and they weren't any stars.
That's right. And a lot of them are 5 stars and don't go anywhere. So Cortez Sapp right now is got schools interested in him: Miami, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Nebraska, Arkansas, Clemson, Florida State, Georgia, Georgia Tech, North Carolina, and Wisconsin. And on here they list him at 6'1.5", 200 pounds. I think he's a little bit bigger than 200 pounds.
Reminds you a little bit of Sam Mills, right? Remember Sam Mills?
Oh, yeah.
God rest his soul. Raiders 4th down. I don't know what that was.
Josh White on the quarterback sneak.
Quarterback sneak by Josh, and he went down immediately. I don't think the Raiders got this one. I don't know. That was tough. It almost looked like there was a little bit of confusion up there.
Well, there might be a call here. Let's see. I didn't see any flags on the field, but yeah, we do have a
legal shift decline. It'll be Milton ball.
Legal shift against the Raiders. That's declined. Milton will take over with 50 seconds left in the half.
Well, that's too bad. Another chance for Walton to get some more points on the board there before halftime.
I would have liked to have seen KK maybe have the ball in that situation. Easy to say now, but the first quarterback sneak, basically got us a half a ball first down. So the Raiders go back on defense. 50 seconds left here in the half. Here's a handoff to Brisker. Raiders shut him down as he climbs across the 25 up to the 27. Picks up 4.
Tackled by number 7, Garrett Eldred, and Clark Price. Picked up about 6.
I'll tell you right now, Eldred and Parker, the linebackers for the Raiders, are having a terrific half. And here's Brisker. He breaks it out. That's not Brisker, actually. That's number 7. That's Chris Turner. Chris picks up a first down. 19 seconds left. Now we know that their kicker has a leg, so if they get that ball across midfield, somewhere around the 40, they may let him have a shot, Tim. That 49-yarder he made had plenty of distance.
Just not sure if they're going to have enough time. I don't know if they're going to run a play. The clock's rolling, 10 seconds, and they're just letting it roll.
So we're going to see this clock roll down to the end of the half, and that'll be it as the Raiders take a 7-3 lead over the Milton Eagles. Folks, it's homecoming, so Tim and I are going to go down and watch some of the homecoming festivities, grab a Coke, and take a break. We'll be back up here at the start of the second half. You're watching Walton Raider football live on Raider Vision, where the Raiders lead 7-3 over the Milton Eagles.
Will never be better than now. Buy yourself some raffle tickets.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Fine Arts Department of Milton High School and Principal Ron Tesh are proud to present for your halftime entertainment the 2014 Milton High School Marching Band. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Emily Johnson and Ryan Maluski. Color guard captains are Rachel Dyer, Jane Becker, and Natalie Perez. This year's band president is Stephanie Perez, and vice president is Alyssa D'Souza. This year's leadership and logistics team members are Chelsea Gow, Alex Pedowitz, Shayna Bolden, Bo Quintana, Amelia Fennell, Joseph Simpson, Katie Miskell, Stephanie Leonard, Sophie Dines, Matt Campbell, Noah Eisenberg, Keaton Jacobs, Prentice Register, Michael McCready's, Cole Behringer, Alyssa D'Souza, Maria Iannacone, Susan Miller, Colin Jones, Jillian Morris, James Hughes, Nigel Moss, Emily Rowley, and Michael Springer. Special thanks to the MHS art teacher, Mara Haslett, and the National Honor Art Society students for helping to create the band's field props currently entering the field. The band is pleased to perform their 2014 production entitled On Cloud 9, featuring clarinet soloist Bo Quintana, trumpet soloist Andrew Michael, and soprano saxophonist Joseph Simpson. Drum majors, is your band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the Milton High School Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, the Milton High School Marching Band. Staff for the marching band includes Holly Brooks, Ansley Kent, Jonathan Kochick, TJ Choquette, Sean Oram, Oscar Prado, Melissa DuPonte, Raman Snell, and Bud Bowlesby. Assistant band director is John Herndon, and director of bands, Chris Shumick.
Good evening, everyone, and on behalf of Principal Judy McNeil, welcome to the presentation of the 2014 Walton High School Homecoming Tour. Representing the freshman class of 2018, Miss Peyton Gregory, escorted by her father, John Gregory. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Peyton Gregory. Miss Annie Spence, escorted by her father, Mark Spence. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Annie Spence. Representing the sophomore class of 2017, Miss Anna Sophia Chung, escorted by her father, Kevin Chung. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Anna Sophia Chung. Miss Carolyn Prunkle, escorted by her father, John Prunkle. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Carolyn Prunkle. And Miss Felice Wynn, escorted by her father, H.C. Wynn. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Felice Wynn. Now representing the junior class of 2016, Miss Sage Lovell, escorted by her father, Scott Lovell. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Sage Lovell. Miss Cameron Port, escorted by her father, Gary Port. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Cameron Port. Miss Jennifer Simon, escorted by her father, John Simon. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jennifer Simon. And Miss Carly White, escorted by her father, Greg White. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Carly White. And last week, one of the following 5 young ladies from the senior class was voted as the homecoming queen by her classmates. So now without further ado, representing the senior class of 2015, Miss Natalie Anderson, escorted by her father, Chris Anderson. Natalie is a member of the Future Physicians Club as well as FCA. She is actively involved in the community Special Equestrians of Georgia community. She plans on attending a small private university to study special education or health sciences. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Natalie Anderson. Miss Rima Garabadu, escorted by her father, Sanjoy Garabadu. Rima is a member of the Student Government Association in the National Honor Society. Next year, she plans on attending college and eventually would like to become a dentist. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Rima Garabadu. Miss Sarah Harden, escorted by her father, Greg Harden. Sarah is a 4-year varsity letterman for the soccer team and a member of the cross-country team freshman and sophomore year. Sarah does not yet know where she will attend college, but hopes to be happy and successful wherever she goes. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Sarah Harden. Miss Devin Hickox, escorted by her father, John Hickox. Devin is the senior class treasurer and has been in 7 Walton drama productions. Devin hopes to attend UGA next year. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Devin Hickox. And Miss Jillian Radcliffe, escorted by her father, Jeff Radcliffe. Jillian is co-president of the National Art Honor Society and a member of the Habitat for Humanity. She intends on attending college next year to study foreign affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jillian Radcliffe. And now I am pleased to introduce last year's homecoming queen, Sapita Jahangard, and Mrs. Judy McNeil, our principal, who will crown our homecoming queen for 2014. And this year's homecoming queen is Miss Natalie Anderson. And as for the rest of our homecoming festivities, earlier today we had the homecoming parade. The winner of the Commons decorations is the junior class. Congratulations, juniors. And the winner of today's homecoming parade float competition is the senior class. Congratulations, senior class. And we would once again like to congratulate Miss Natalie Anderson and all of the court members, as well as all of the classes that demonstrated good sportsmanship and friendly competition this past week. Have a safe weekend and go Raiders.
And welcome back to Raider Valley, where homecoming festivities have just wrapped up. Natalie Anderson was the homecoming queen here from the senior class. And the Raiders have a 7-3 lead. My sidekick, Tim, is he's reliving old home week with a couple of his buddies. He mentioned the Bond, Will Bond, the wide receiver. His dad was a classmate of Tim's, and he and Chuck Carswell, they're all downstairs right now just reliving the glory days and singing Bruce Springsteen's song, The Glory Days. Raiders hold a 7-3 lead, and it's been a tough game. There's been a lot of punts in today's game. Raiders take advantage of a muff punt when KK Brooks went 4 yards for the score. The Eagles scored on a 49-yard field goal by Ethan Suda, the senior kicker, junior kicker from the Eagles.
All right, folks, tonight's band raffle
Josh White,
is over.
the quarterback for the Raiders, has been under a lot of pressure during the game, but we don't have the halftime stats yet. But he has been able to evade a lot of that pressure and find Sam Letton, Bailey Wolf, and Cole Watts for a number of completions. KK Brooks has been a little bit bottled up today, but I think that the Raiders offensive staff want to stay patient with that. KK had a couple of runs in the second quarter that gave you a little bit of view that things might be loosening up a little bit. Eagles will get the opening kickoff of the second half. It was a beautiful night for homecoming. And there are a lot of people here. I've been coming to Walton games for a long time, and the stands are packed on the home side, all the way from the goal line at the north end through the student section on the south end. And so, Tim, we were making fun of you guys, saying, we could hear the Bruce Springsteen music down their glory days as you guys were recanting your escapades here at Raider Valley.
Well, I was basically an onlooker. I was one of these spectators you were talking about a second ago, watching my friend Chuck over here do some damage like we've seen KK do, the last couple of seasons, and Tyron before him, and then Billy Bond. His son's playing for Milton now, but Billy was like the classic possession receiver.
Right.
Very capable guy, good hands, and so Billy.
Like Price Garrett was a couple of years ago. Yeah, right,
exactly.
right.
Yep. But me, there wasn't much you could say about me. I think I was on a special team or two, and that's about it. I was a good scout team guy. I gave the first teamers a good look, Well,
that's what I say. My freshman and sophomore year at WNL, I always laugh and say I held the record for most carries by a running back because I was the scout team tailback that first year and a half, and Saturday was my day of rest.
I think we're having our picture taken. What's
I
going
know.
on? What is this for?
Well, we're gonna sign it. We're gonna put it on the internet, and then we're gonna see if they put us on probation.
Okay. All right.
The halftime is wrapping up, and this is really kind of the TV and with GPB TV. Boy, that one's going to get me all night. Raider student section is in full voice. You can hear them. We have the windows open tonight. It's a beautiful night.
Where's that drone?
Man, that drone kind of scares me, to be quite honest.
I want to see that drone flying around. Well, a lot of punts in that first half, Kurt, but if you're a Walton Raider backer, as we are here on Raider Vision, you got to be happy. You go into the locker room, you won the first half. Now all you got to do is lose the second half by no more than 3. Or you don't want to lose it, you want to win it, of course. But
yeah. There's a short kick again. taken at the 29, and the Raiders do a little bit better job this time of pulling it down. And for a tackle, and the Eagles will start at the 37. You know, Tim, I'm not that surprised that our offense is kind of moving in fits and starts against the Eagle defense. But our defense is playing extremely well right now.
They really are.
Extremely well. They've held them to a number 3 and outs.
Having to play some guys both ways, though, and I know that wears on you over the course of a game.
And here's Brister, and he's taken down again.
Like Joey Goodman.
Joey Goodman,
Yep.
number 22 for the Raiders.
Got him around the ankles.
22, Joey Goodman, loss of 2 on the play. Second down.
You know, the first couple series, Brister was a real challenge for the Raiders. But here's an end around. Raiders string it out nicely. That's great defense.
Goodman again. Great pursuit by Goodman.
Number 3, A.J. Beach.
And A.J. Beach taken down, and I don't know what. We've got a 3rd down and 11.
He picks up about 1. It'll be 3rd.
You know, KK's done a good job a couple of times, Tim, with keeping, you know, creating the edge even as a cornerback and keeping things strung out and allowing help to come. Here's McLeod, shotgun, fakes it, hands off to Brisker. Great defense. The Raiders have Brisker pinned in. Wrap up, boys. Fumble, ball's on the ground.
There's the Raider
And
that
I think
came
the
in.
Raiders got it.
I don't know if we got it or not, but they came in right at the end of that, and now we got an injured player down, which we cannot afford.
One of the Raiders grabbing his forearm.
And I think we may have a second guy down at the bottom of the pile. He's getting up real slow. But it's Tajee Stewart who got up slowly. The other injured Raiders still down on the field.
Raiders did a great job of hemming Brisker in, forced him. He tried to bump it outside. Raiders forced it back inside, and then as he got ready to cross the 35-yard line, the Raiders brought the hammer.
Yeah, very impressed by the Walton defense so far tonight, and that's what my friend Mr. Bond was saying at halftime. He was like, I didn't know the Walton defense was playing this well. So we're going to get a replay here and see if we can find out what happened. There's the initial hit in the backfield. Just trying to find out who might have gotten hurt. You see him rolling around. Oh, it's Jason Rooks. Oh, my gosh. That would be a huge blow. He's only a sophomore, Kurt, but I'm telling you what, he has been one of the MVPs of this Walton defense this season. He's up. He's up, and he's looks like he's holding his left arm. Maybe it's his right wrist.
Yeah, Jason kind of got rolled up on the outs. He was on the outside of the play as he forced Brisker back inside, and he looks like he got it on his forearm. The wrist doesn't look like it, but what do we know? And a fair catch called by the Raiders. No one fell down on that punt.
No, that was Taquar. There you see the training staff working on Jason Rooks. They do an outstanding job, the Walton medical staff.
Raiders have the ball 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line, their own 32. Josh White back in at quarterback, KK Brooks your running back. Tim, we need to get the offensive line and get their numbers and call them out here. We've been remiss doing that here in the first half. The hurry-out offense makes it tough to do that. And here's a handoff to KK. He's up across the 31. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage barely, so that'll bring up 2nd down and 10. And I thought KK was starting to see a little bit more running room in the second quarter, but they're late in the second quarter. The Milton defense shut us down, and the Raiders are back into a 2nd and long. And there goes Josh on a little bit of a quarterback draw or scramble. He picks up maybe 3 or 4 yards. They'll mark it right at the 35.
Yeah, if he's going to run the football, you definitely want to see him go ahead and tuck that thing up like a running back and not
just go.
And not hold it out there like he does sometimes. That's a cause for concern. You see that football sitting out there like that.
Josh seems more comfortable running the ball between the tackles up the middle, Tim, than when he gets on the perimeter. Although he had some nice runs early in the first half. Josh holds it, throws it, and he throws it away, and that'll bring up 4th down. Second half starts just like the first half ended, with the Raiders and the Eagles exchanging punts. Matt Fitzpatrick, the sophomore punter, number 96. The Raiders got a lot of people on the field right now as the offense clears off. And now Milton doesn't have enough people on the field, so we've got people running all over the place. Here's the snap. Walton's line flinched.
Yep. It's going to be 4th and even longer now.
They get 4th and 12.
Flag on the play. False start against the Raiders. 5-yard penalty.
In the Raiders' defense, we are doing, it is very loud, and our crowd is enthusiastic, but they're not quite as, they're not like that old Indianapolis Colts crowd where they were quiet when we were on offense.
Right.
Make this noise when the other guys are on offense. Good snap, rugby punt. This one's a high one. It's not going to be very far, and it's going to come down, probably marked at the 46. 45. Milton has started there a number of times. The Raiders have been pinned back between their 20 and 30 all night, Tim.
Yeah, it's been a field position game. They've got Jason Rook's elbow taped up, his left or his right elbow rather, and he's not going to be in for this play, but I'd expect we'll see him back in the football game real soon here.
Yeah, he's number 30. There he is, standing next to defensive coordinator.
And you know, Coach Stu wants to get him back in there too.
Very tense game here as the clock tends to tick away with 9:43 in the third quarter. Milton thus far has been, frankly, the beast of the region. The Raiders coming back from an enormous amount of adversity and making all of us proud with the way they've responded to that. This game right now, 7-3 in the hands of the Raiders. Defense needs to play tough. Here's the fumble. Ball's on the ground. Raiders. We have the football.
My gosh.
First down, Walton.
Milton is doing everything they can do to help Walton out. Walton will take the help.
Well, McLeod took that snap. I think we're going to see a replay, Tim, but he basically handed it off right to Brisker's hip.
Yep, there he is. Takes the pistol snap. You know what? Brisker was not expecting the ball. I think there was a mix-up on the play call there. Brisker was not expecting the football, and it looked like, you're right, McLeod tried to hand it off to him.
Joey Goodman with the fumble recovery for the Raiders. And the Raiders are in business. Now, we need to do something here, Tim. This we need to take advantage of. Little wildcat. Addison takes it right up the middle. He breaks it across the 30, the 25 to the 20, and he's down to the 14-yard line.
Another one of those impressive underclassmen for the Walton Raiders. Addison Shoup takes his first snap of the night and turns it into a big gain.
Shoup, they're saying Shoup. I said Shoup earlier, but it's Shoup. So Shoup takes the snap, direct snap, and picks up almost 25 yards. And the Raiders had the ball 1st and 10 at the 13. He breaks it out across the 10. He finds space, Tim, where there just doesn't look like there's any. I mean, when Addison's in there right now, it's almost like they're running a wildcat.
He's
right.
You're right. I mean, but he can throw the football really well.
He was 10 of 16 last weekend.
He's slippery, and you thought, okay, that's going to be a loss, or maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Ends up being a 6-yard gain. And he packs a good amount of strength into that little body. I say little body comparing him to Josh White.
He follows the blocker, and this time he's pulled down, and that brings up 3rd down and about, that'll make 6.
I'm wondering if everything's okay with Josh, or if this is just one of those little let's show him a different look type thing,
Well, this kind of goes back a way, but in 2007, Brendan Theobald and Ray. Oh, what was Ray?
Rayburn.
Yeah, Rayburn. Yeah, Ray and Brendan. Ed moved them in and out throughout the season, and it worked. Here's a pass. Thrown behind the receiver. Didn't quite set those feet.
Well, there were 2 receivers in the area, and it looked like it was behind one of them, and it might have been low and short to the other receiver, but
Raiders with a field goal try here. This will be 33 yards. No, excuse me, 27 yards.
Looks like it'll be a 27-yard field goal.
Is that Randall?
And is it good?
Oh my gosh, did he knuckle that through?
Good.
Hey man,
Scorecard. They don't put the picture on the scorecard, Tim.
when you look at the box score, that's going to show up.
All it's got to do is go over the yellow bar.
It was kind of a high snap, and Benton Board did a tremendous job to go up and get it and put it back down. So I don't know if there was if the hold was slightly off or what. The kick didn't look great, but it was good enough. And
Listen, doesn't matter if they're quacking as long as they go over the goal, go over the crossbar. That's all that counts. So the Raiders take a 10-3 lead, and those are, Tim, those are 3 huge points right now.
Yeah, especially how this game has gone. It's been a defensive battle, a grinded out type game. Walton's taken advantage of a couple of miscues by Milton. And, I'd like to say they've made the most of them. We settled for 3 there that time. But, and an interesting little change of pace there by the Walton coaching staff. Again, not sure if I'm looking around along the sideline looking for Josh White. But I don't know if that was just a planned thing. Let's get Schaup in there and show this Milton defense a little different look. But it paid off in 3 points.
John Randall, number 98, handle the kickoff.
Julia Edmonds, we have your Walton student ID up in the press box. Julia Edmonds.
Raiders lead 10-3. 8:08 to go in the third quarter. Boy, I'd love another turnover here. If we can make it 17-3, I'm ready to. That's a good directional kick. That's a good kick.
It's a live ball, too. Let's get down there, guys.
Get him. This is going to turn out beautifully if we can tackle him. There we go. 12-yard line. That worked out perfectly.
That was fantastic.
AJ Beach. AJ, to his credit, I think he thought it was going to go out of bounds. And
tackled by Zach Starnes, number 37, and number 7, Garrett Eldred.
They're going to mark the ball at the 11-yard line, Tim. So the Raiders finally have the Eagles in some tough field position.
Yep, see if this defense can just keep plugging along, keep doing what they've been doing.
Hang on, guys. Hang on. Play good defense. Be physical. Here's a handoff to Brisker. He's got some running room. And then big hit as he crosses the 13-yard line. When you get hit by a Raider, you better be ready.
Hit hard by Ryan Rogie.
Rogie with the hit.
Yeah, Brisker's the kind of guy I think that can take that punishment, though. On the one thing about the Milton website is they list their lifting accomplishments, and he's right at the top of just about every category.
McLeod rolls to his right. He's got a receiver, and he catches it out of bounds at the 22, 23-yard line, and that will be a first down for the Eagles and gives Milton some breathing room. Nice roll out to the right and throw by McLeod. Starting to tense up here a little bit, Tim. I have to loosen up here in my chair. And there's a lot of motion there.
I saw the motion. I didn't see the flag come in right away, but
it's on the far side.
Yep, there it is.
Need to thank the Walton Booster Club Valley View crew. They continue to pay me with black coffee on Friday nights, which usually means I get home and I'm able to work for 2 or 3 hours before I'm able to go to sleep.
I found out how you get a raise working for Raider Vision. You don't have to ask for it. All you do is you go and take it. So you get your plate of barbecue and you just keep piling on top. And that's how you get your Raider Vision raise.
First down carried by Chris Turner. He picks up a yard or 2, and then I'll bring up a second down and 13.
We got maybe 1 on the play. It'll be second and 14.
14, gain of 1. This has been the situation where they like to roll McLeod out, get him on the perimeter, and it's really just a one-man pattern at the end of the day. They send one of the receivers kind of down the seam in a post, and then they just either curl or, and there's another.
There's a raise. That looks
that looks appetizing, doesn't it? Pete English's half-eaten barbecue plate.
I'm not touching that. You know, when it's a fresh plate, it probably smells fantastic. That didn't smell very good either.
That was, well, you know, that just left all kinds of questions in mind. Now the referees are gathered around the ball at the 19-yard line. A flag was thrown. There was a lot of illegal shifting. Any scores, Tim?
Well, Lassiter is, their only win so far this season was the forfeit against Walton, and they're in danger, I will say, of picking up their second win of the season. They lead Cherokee 31-14, and that would be huge for Walton, Kurt.
It would, very much so.
Walton will definitely appreciate that help for Cherokee. Of course, Walton's got their own issues here trying to hang on to this one.
Well, there's a big penalty marked off against the Raiders. Well, let's see what this is going to be. Coach Dixon is not happy.
First down, Milton at the Raiders 30 at
well, the teams are lined up, but the referee's occupied at the moment explaining things to Coach Dixon, so this ball is not going to be snapped for a minute here.
Coach is hot, not happy about that. Somehow or another, it went from looking like Milton had done an illegal shift or had had an illegal motion to them marching off 15 yards against the Raiders and a first down for the Eagles. So
I don't know what it could have been other than like an unsportsmanlike.
Here's a quick pass and boom! There you go.
Christian Sullivan.
That's the way you respond to a little bit of adversity, right?
That was beautiful. Read it well.
A.J. Beach, good job holding on to the ball by A.J. because I think he knew the hammer was coming and he held on and not a turnover, which was a good play by A.J.
All right,
that brings up 2nd and 13 for the Eagles.
Jason Rooks back in there, lining up on the right side of the Walton defensive line.
Here's a handoff to Brisker up the middle, and he finds some running room, and he falls forward to the 40-yard line. 3rd down and 5. That was a good run by Brisker. We had him probably 2 or 3 yards, maybe 4 yards back there, Tim, and he fell forward.
Yeah. Well, that's what good running backs do. They'll take that hit, they'll get wrapped up, but they find a way to fall forward for that extra yard or two, and Brisker did a fine job of that there on that play.
Big 3rd down for the Raiders, 3rd down and 5. Handoff to Brisker, and he is going to be hit immediately and brought down, and the Raider defense stout again as Brisker picks up 1 yard.
Yep. Forward progress gave him a yard. We're going to get a replay here, and you'll see the Walton defense just fly to the football there. You got probably 6-7 Walton helmets around the football, and these guys, they feed off each other. You.
It's emotion, man.
Yeah, they know they're having a good game, and they just want to, you get that momentum going.
You want to make the big hit. If your buddies if Wayne Lucas was making a big hit, I wanted to make it's blocked by the Raiders. The ball's bouncing around at the 18. Don't fall on it. Pick it up and run for a touchdown. It's your glory moment.
That's Rogie.
It is Rogie with the touchdown.
And that one's going to stay on the board. We do have a player injured. I just hate to
touchdown,
keep saying
Walton Raiders, Tim.
We got a guy down over there in about the 13, 14-yard line. And he's going to get up. Training staff is out there. That's a huge play for the Raiders, Kurt.
Yeah, Suda got the snap, the punter, and Ethan's been punting the ball well, but it just looked like the Raiders got on him much faster than he had expected or seen earlier in the game. But, when you've got a punt like that and you're a defensive guy, don't fall on it, man. Glory.
You remember the old graphics they'd put up on the screen, which team has the advantage in the running game or the passing game or defense, and then there was the one called intangibles.
Right.
Walton has definitely won the intangibles battle here tonight. This has been it's been all big breaks for the Raiders.
The Raiders take a 16-3 lead. Extra point coming up for the Raiders. Snap, little high, hold down, right down the middle. Good. 17-3. The Raiders take the lead over the Milton Eagles, and right now we've got it going.
Get a replay here, and see the punt blocked right there, and the ball's loose on the ground for a long time. One guy tries to pick it up, still loose, and it's Rogie who finally scoops it up at about the 18-yard line and runs it in.
Well, Ryan is the junior defensive back for the Raiders. Touchdown, Walton.
Yeah, so they're saying it was Rogie who actually came through with the block as well.
Oh, good. Well, listen, Milton's defense has been able to keep us hemmed in, Tim, and I was a little nervous when we were going to fall on it around the 14-yard line. I'm thinking, oh, come on. And Ryan saw that loose ball squirt out again, and it was pay dirt.
You got to have that awareness of what kind of a game you're in, and the kind of game that Walton is in tonight is they needed to take that chance, like you said, to try to scoop the football up and run it in as opposed to just falling on it.
Kickoff coming up for the Raiders. This one's kind of spinning down at the 18-yard line. Oh, and he goes down.
Yep, they're going to whistle him down. His knee touched.
Well, that's 2 for 2 on the short kicks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're almost like little bump and runs from the fairway.
Well, after that touchdown by Walton, you said Walton's got it rocking and rolling or something like that. I can't remember what you said, but
it was profound.
Yeah, so does McEachern. They were trailing this football game 14-7 to North Paulding, and this is listed as a second quarter score. It's McEachern 46, North Paulding 14.
They moved again. I think that they all left early there as well. Here's a pass caught by the Eagles, and that ball is going to go up to the 35-yard line. Gang tackled there finally.
That was a big play by the Milton offense, but I tell you what, Coach Dixon, Coach Stewart, they've got these guys playing some defense tonight. That took a long time to unpile right there. That's how many guys were in on that tackle.
4:49 here in the third quarter. Raiders leading 17-3.
I think this is one of those scores that's going to have a lot of people kind of raising their eyebrows when they see this one, especially if it holds. A lot of people that follow high school football around the state.
Well, I know that decisions get made, but at the end of the day, this is a 5-2 football team on the field.
Yep.
Hand off to Turner. He finds some running room. And Chris Turner, number 7, the senior running back from the Eagles, picks up almost 7 yards, maybe 8 yards. And the Eagles have found a little bit of room here as they started at their own 19 and have moved it 25 yards in 2 plays.
You can kind of sense that they've sort of had the light click on for them. They've sort of developed a little sense of urgency here.
Here's a handoff to Brisker, and Brisker is stopped. He looks like he's going to have the first down. It'll bring up a 1st and 10 as the ball is going to be marked just over the 46-yard line, and that will give them a first down.
Well, 2 plays in a row, though. The Milton ball carriers had his helmet come off. So that's something to look out for. I don't know if the Raiders are trying to rip the helmet off or what, but got to be careful if that's the case.
Well, and as the rule is now, your helmet comes off, you come off the field.
Yep.
So Turner is back in the backfield. Here's a handoff to number 2, going wide. A little bit of a hold there that got missed by the referee.
Oh, the flag comes in. That was right on the sideline. They're going to call a late hit there. There was a pop, and I think it was Ghost, Amani Parker, that came in and made the hit right on the sideline. That's a tough call because it is really hard to hold up.
Yeah. Well, I can't really fault that call too much, but there was a really nice hold on one of our defensive ends or our outside linebacker as the play went wide. That had a little jersey stretch, but the referee declined to grab his flag.
Oh, Jason Rooks.
I will say one thing about Coach Dixon. He's not afraid of working the refs.
We're going to get a replay on this one here.
Watch up here in the top corner right
Oh,
there.
yeah. Oh, yeah. You see it. You're right. And look at the late hit was right on the sideline. It was hard to tell that the ball carrier was even out of bounds. And Jason Rooks is back out of the ball game now, getting attention from the training staff.
Well, it's first down. The ball's at the 37-yard line of the Raiders. Milton moving the ball nicely. Here's Turner right up the middle, and he picks up 6-7 yards. And the Raiders defense, after holding stout for 3.5 quarters, is getting pushed around a little bit right now. I would suspect that offensive line might have gotten a little bit of a chat from the coaching staff. And right now they've got it going. Handoff again to Turner. He finds lots of running room, and he is brought down. I don't know if that's going to be close to the first down.
He's got it.
He's got it.
Yep.
And they're moving the chains.
Turner on the carry, good for a first down. Tackle once again by number 20, Ryan Roby.
Raider defense needs to tighten up here. 1st and 10, ball on the 26-yard line. Eagles on the move. Here's Brisker. He's going to try to bounce it outside. He's got a little running room, and the Raiders come up strong.
Christian Sullivan on the stop.
Sullivan with a nice play. They have really done a great job of stringing things out when the Eagles have tried to run wide, particularly to the left side.
And the helmet came off. Brisker's got to get out of there. He was about to line up again at tailback.
That'll drive a coach crazy. So Turner's back in, number 7 at tailback. McLeod's still your quarterback, number 11 for the Eagles. And he rolls out to his right. He throws it downfield wide open.
Boy.
Nice tackle at the 11-yard line, but
well, the Milton crowd starting
Will
to get
Bond
into
wide
it.
open.
Pass is complete to number 8, Will Bond. Good for a first down, Eagles.
So Bond picks up the first down for the Eagles. They have first down at the 11. Raiders defense needs to come up with a play now. Motion, handoff Turner. Turner is stacked up and brought down at the 9. That'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
Chris Turner carries up the middle, brought down by Amani Parker and Kazi Stewart. We got about 2.5, call it 2nd and 8.
Second down and 8, ball at the 9-yard line. Eagles on the move. Raiders lead 17-3 late here in the third quarter. Here's Brisker right up the middle. He breaks through, and he is going to score an Eagle touchdown.
Yep.
And that was a hard run.
Well,
And it's 17-9.
with that big, powerful offensive line and Miko Brisker, a solid running back, it was going to be hard to keep these guys out of the end zone all night long. A tremendous effort, really, for Walton to take it to the 2:04 mark of the third quarter before they finally give up a touchdown. But that was a powerful run. He just wasn't going to be denied on that play.
So Brisker with the touchdown from 9 yards out. Suda in to kick the extra point for the Eagles. And the Raiders 2-score margin now. And we've got a
Extra point is good. Makes your score Walton. Raiders
17-10. Raiders lead with 2:04 to go in the third quarter. Raiders need to kind of pick it up now.
Yep. I have a feeling to win this game, Kurt, we're going to have to score again.
Yeah, and I think 24 needs to be your number. I worry that 20 is not enough.
Yeah. I mean, the defense has been outstanding all night long, but you saw the Milton offense come alive on that drive, and really we never did find out what that phantom penalty was that gave them a
First down.
15-yard first down. Yeah, but the only thing I can think is it was some kind of a unsportsmanlike conduct, because I don't know what else it would have been.
Well, two 15-yard penalties, two big penalties against the Raiders on that drive. We had the hit on the sideline, and then the phantom penalty, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
Time for the Raiders offense to respond.
Number 12, he's been suited to kick off for Milton.
That's exactly what you want to do if you're Milton. And they gave up the big play on the punt return by the Raiders, and they took it right downfield and took it at them. One thing that you see when they get McLeod, that quarterback, a little bit on the edge, Tim, he throws the ball really well.
Yep.
This kick is going to send Stewart into the end zone, and the Raiders will take over at the 20. Raiders need to respond. Looks like Addison is going to be in at quarterback again. Josh still on the sideline.
Raiders will start offense at their own 20-yard line.
1st and 10, Raiders at the 20.
Seems like he's walking around fine. I'm trying to detect from the body language on Josh White.
Hand off to KK, and he is stopped immediately, and he loses a yard, and that'll be marked at the 19, and that brings up 2nd down and 11 for the Raiders.
Definitely going to need to get some first downs unless this defense can just keep doing what they've been doing all night long, talking about the Walton defense, and not what they did on the last possession by Milton, but everything prior to that. Walton's going to have to churn out some first downs here and run some clock.
Rolls out. Oh, that was a dangerous pass.
Oh, it was a catchable ball. It was a dangerous pass, but it was a catchable ball. Now we got a couple of Milton guys down. First guy is up with no problem. We'll get a replay here, Kurt, and you see, you're right, it was a dangerous pass. It was in traffic, but it was, in fact, it was right in the middle of 3 Milton defenders, but it looked like it was very catchable. It might have been tipped slightly that altered the course of the football, but
well, when Schaub came in, he gave us that burst of energy by running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've kind of fallen back here, and he's thrown a couple incompletions, handed off to KK a few times with limited success. I think where Schaub gives you that different look is when he makes that defense wonder where he's going.
Right.
When he's unpredictable, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well, he was good in all areas last week at Woodstock. He was good running the football. He was very good throwing it as well. Hasn't really been able to connect throwing the football yet tonight. Hadn't had a whole lot of time in there tonight, but he's going to have to come up with a big play here on 3rd down and 10 and a half. Got an injured Eagle down on the field. So 1:28 remaining here in this 3rd quarter. Walton clinging right now to a touchdown lead on Milton, 17-10. And there's the injured Eagle sitting up now, Jordan Parisian. He's a senior. And we're going to try to see if we can find out what happened to him.
Yeah, Jordan kind of gets here in this flow. Oh, he gets, as he falls forward trying to get the pass, I think he hit the knee of one of his teammates and caught that knee on the top of the head.
Oh. We're going to get it one more time. Oh, it's a head-to-head. It looked like it was a head-to-head hit.
Jordan's up, and that's a good sign. Jordan walking slowly, but he seems to be moving well. That's excellent to see. Big 3rd down, Tim. They're all big, but this one's a big one. And we got Schaub in the shotgun with Morgan and Brooks next to him. 2 receivers to the far left. Milton in that 4-3 defense. He drops back to pass. He's under instant pressure. Throws it. Caught by KK Brooks at the 39-yard line. It's a 1st down.
That was a gutsy throw, Kurt. KK Brooks had not turned around at the time that Schaub released the football.
Well, that was the unintentional perfect back shoulder pass.
Perfection.
And Addison Schaub and KK Brooks connect for a huge 1st down. And the Raiders have it 1st and 10 at their own 41. But, boy, looking at that 3rd down and 11 in the shadow of their own goalpost. And here's a handoff to KK. He's up across the 45 to the 46. And a nice 5-yard gain by Brooks. And he finally sees a little bit of running room here in the 3rd quarter with 1 minute to go.
Get the replay here, Kurt. And this is going to be in the first down catch. Yeah, KJ, he was looking over his shoulder slightly, had not turned all the way around, but by looking over his shoulder there, he saw that ball was in the air. It was time for him to turn around and make that big 1st down catch.
That was a nice play. Classic back shoulder. Handoff again to KK. He bounces. He's got a little bit of running room. He scoots forward. He's about a half a yard short. I don't like that spot by the guy on our side.
KK with a nice run.
I think that's actually Rayburn's number, wasn't it, 14?
Austin Mitchell on the tackle. Raiders
I think.
third
Anyway,
and 2.
doesn't matter.
I don't know.
I just think it was, but anyway.
You're probably right.
I think Theobald was 11. Ray was 14, but 3rd and 2 for the Raiders. Handoff crashing down, comes the defense. They miss him, and KK comes it across the 45. He's in Eagle territory. Big first down. He was almost caught from behind, which probably would have been a horse collar tackle.
Yep, get the replay here, Kurt. And you see KK follow his blockers, and it was great blocking on that play, and picks up another big Walton first down.
Well, I can tell you the way that that Eagle defense is crashing, the opportunity to do some misdirection against that defense as they're coming down from the backside so hard is just kind of screaming out there. But that's the end of the third quarter, folks, and the Walton Raiders lead 17-10 over the Milton Eagles in what is going to be a tense fourth quarter as the Raiders cling to this one touchdown lead, Tim.
Yeah, this is a big one. I mean, they're all big, and after the forfeit situation, Kurt, I think that really affected this team's morale. Coach Dixon said the team was down and played very poorly against Pope. Now, not to take any credit away from Pope, they played a great ball game that night, but you could just tell that the wind was out of their sails. Once they realized they still had a chance to get into the playoffs as long as they just took this thing one game at a time and gave their best effort each time out. They come back with that big win last week against Woodstock and a really outstanding performance so far here tonight against a very tough Milton Eagles football team.
Well, when they went down 14-0 to Woodstock so early in that game, I mean, this team had every opportunity to kind of pack it in and just say, that's it. But Coach Dixon and this Walton Raider team have continued to fight back. This win tonight, if we could pull this off, would be a real signal that the Walton Raiders, if you watch the show, I said in the words of Wayne Fonts, ain't dead yet. And these Raiders are far from it. And this drive has moved very nicely as the Raiders picked up that first down on KK's run on 3rd and 2. Now we need touchdowns though, Tim. I mean, that's the thing. And we just seen the bananas cheer by the student section here, the third quarter tradition. Remember during basketball season how loud that would be?
Oh man, the pit. I haven't been in there in a while. You know what? I think I did go to the Wheeler game at Walton last year.
Yeah, you did because you were texting me. I remember that.
But yeah, it's all that noise just kind of bounces off all the walls in there and just gets locked in.
Yeah, we had some good times doing those basketball games in the day. Boy, that team with the two Rice kids and
Ryan
Menard
Harrell,
Johnson and Carl.
Oh yeah, Carl Cochran. Yep.
Who we got to see a little bit on ESPN last year in the tournament with Wofford. So the fourth quarter getting ready to start as we wait for GPB television to bring us back. Raiders have the ball 1st and 10 at the Milton 45-yard line, leading 17-10 here at the start of the fourth quarter. Addison Schaupin at quarterback. Josh White played all throughout the first half.
It's fourth quarter time.
Both of them have played extremely well tonight.
Here we go.
Fourth quarter football, Raiders lead by 7. This is going to be a beauty. Schaup keeps it, cuts up inside. He's hit immediately, and he gains nothing. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Schaup on the keeper, tackled by number 53, Marty Horan. No gain on play, 2nd and 10.
Raiders looking at 2nd and long. Letton is the lone receiver to our side. High formation. Toss sweep. KK cuts it up inside. He's got some running room. He's at the 40. He's at the 35. He breaks it outside to the 30, and he is tackled at the 22, and that was just a beautiful run by KK Brooks. Got a couple of players down here at the 45. One of the Raider offensive linemen, he gets up, but the what looks like one of the defensive linemen for the Eagles is down, so we'll have a timeout here to.
That was here's the replay here, and it looked like KK bobbled that pitch a little bit in the backfield, but watch this vision right there to sidestep that defender and pick up another 10 yards or so after sidestepping the defender.
Did a nice job, too, of holding on to the ball, Tim, because he tackled from behind, and that is just always so difficult to do. That's number 68 for the Raiders, coming off with holding his arm. David Davis.
And that was Isaiah Hawkins, the injured Milton player, and he's okay.
Isaiah's up and walking off. That's good to see. He and David, they kind of ended up in a pile there, and you saw that on that little, it looked like some of that inside, that offside guard pulls to kick out that end, and there was just a pile there.
Yep.
And we've got a timeout on the sideline here, and I believe it's taken by Coach Mo Dixon and the Raiders. So I have a suspicion that one of the emails, the viewer mail, that's going to, I've got a suspicion it's going to be, Coach, after your story about your fancy Joe Namath white shoes, when did you become such a tough defensive coach?
Yeah, that is a good question.
I just kind of, I mean, it may have already come into the mailbox. Pete might have actually seen it already.
Especially consider, when I think of Joe Namath, I don't think of tough to begin with. You know what I mean?
No. And I think of pretty, and I think that Joe's not tough and Mo's not pretty. So, we can go both ways with that, right? But I think Pete also said that he checked the mailbox, and it looks like we've got some mail that came in from Hazard County this week too.
Okay, I'm trying to.
Well, that's where Mo's from. He's from
Hazard County. Okay.
He's from Hazard County, Kentucky.
I was thinking Dukes of Hazard. I was trying to.
No. You're stuck in Georgia. Now, this is from Kentucky. We're kind of nationwide, Tim. I mean, that's one of the keys you have to understand with the Mo Dixon show.
I was hoping we got some mail from Daisy Duke.
Well, you never know.
All right, 2nd down and 10 after no gain on that previous play.
Short little pitch to the left to KK brings up 2nd down. Addison was lining up behind the guard, but we won't tell anybody. Handoff, fake to KK. Addison steps up. Oh, it's intercepted.
Yeah, he got hit as he was throwing it, and the ball was fluttering.
Whoa.
That's a tough break. Walton was moving the football, Kurt.
Well, that's one of those situations with Addison is that he's not the tallest guy. When he gets in that pocket sometimes, So this is where the Raider defense really needs to step up now, Tim. They're holding on to a 1-touchdown lead. Turnover deep. Took some time off the clock with that drive, but that was a very unfortunate turnover. Really nothing that the quarterback can do there. Gets hit from behind, ball just kind of goes forward, and that linebacker just, it's like Christmas morning when those come at you. Here's Brisker, and he's brought down after maybe a yard gain. That's a good sign. 2 yards maybe, brings up a 2nd down, and we'll call it 8.
Milton has all 3 of their timeouts. Walton has 2 timeouts left.
2nd down and 8. Eagles on the 21-yard line. Raiders need to hold them. Stating the obvious, aren't you, Schreiner? Here comes immediate pressure. McLeod breaks out. Raiders had a real chance to get him there. Now he's on the perimeter, and he's going to pick up the 1st down as he takes the ball out to nearly the 30-yard line. I thought the Raiders had a chance to really knock him back for a big loss on the sack. McLeod's able to come clear and pick up almost 8 yards on that scramble.
The Raiders needed that one. They had him wrapped up, like you said, Kurt, and a great job of scrambling out of it by McLeod.
1st and 10 for the Eagles, ball on the 30-yard line. Here's a handoff to Brisker, and he pushes forward, and you can tell that he is running much harder. I think his helmet came off again.
Yeah, and it did, and we're at that. part of the game here, Kurt, 9:44 left to go, where it seems like after every single play, there's a couple of guys getting up real slow.
Turner back in at running back number 7 for the Eagles. Second down, and it's 4. Pickup of 6 by Brisker. He's running very hard here in the second half. Here's a handoff to Turner. He breaks out across the 40. He's got some running room. That Raider defense is looking a little tired right now, Tim.
Yep, it is. They've played a tremendous football game so far here tonight. We'll get a replay here, Kurt. And
Rogie with the tackle.
Just a big hole right there. You or I could have run through that one.
Not me. Now the only position I can play on the football field anymore would be spy. 1st and 10, ball at the 47-yard line. Here's a handoff to Turner. He's trying to get it outside. Raiders just are not able to bring him down, and now they finally do. But he picks up almost 4 yards.
Chris Turner tripped up at midfield by number 21.
The ball will be spotted just across the 50-yard line as the Eagles are on the move.
Second and 7.
Pickup of 3.
Let's get loud, folks.
We need this crowd to kind of pick it up. PA announcer asking for the Raiders to be loud. There's a quick pass wide open on the perimeter. Chris Franklin, number.
What is that? Was that what is that flag that came in so late?
Pass complete to Chris Franklin, number 19. There's a flag.
We'll watch a replay here. I mean, it just looked like Chris went down after catching the pass.
Oh, they called a face mask.
Personal foul, face
No.
mask against the Raiders.
See, he got it.
Oh,
He
they
did-
got it.
He
That's-
did get his face mask.
That's a face mask. That's a good call.
When I saw it live, Kurt, I thought he got the top of the shoulder pads.
No, he got him on the side of the frame of the helmet, right?
Yep.
That's 3 big 15-yard penalties, Tim, here in the second half that have really, really hurt the Raiders.
8 minutes, 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
All right, well, time for the fumble chant. Fumble, 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 fumble. Fumble, 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 fumble.
Raiders have gotten a lot of breaks here tonight. They could use another one.
Yep, 1st and 10, ball to 26-yard line. Eagles on the move again. Here's Brisker. He's met head on in the hole. He gets to the 25, and they're going to blow that dead after a 1-yard gain. Bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Eagles.
22, Joey Goodman. Gain of about 1. Taji Stewart also in on the play.
Stewart with the tackle for the Raiders. Now this has been a situation where they've liked to get McLeod on the perimeter, rolling usually the wide side of the field, Tim, for that one-man route. And there he goes, rolling right. Got to get that pressure, wrap him up. There we go, big sack by the Raiders.
All
Number
right.
30, don't get the penalty.
Yeah, just you got to mute that celebration just a little bit.
Jason
Now,
Rooks.
Rooks gets the sack, Kurt, but it's Davis Pigeon who provides the initial pressure.
That's good. That's really good. Yeah, remember, football, you're not allowed to have fun in football anymore.
I think it was Pigeon. I actually didn't catch the replay, but
So that brings up 3rd down. 16 to go. This is a huge, by the way, did you see I called that play, wide side roll out to the left?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Here's a handoff to number 2 wide, and the Raiders sniff that one out.
Boy.
Beautiful play, a loss of 3.
there is some speed on that Walton defense, and Joey Goodman came in like a heat-seeking missile.
Craner takes that inside handoff.
Number 22, Joey Goodman.
And there he is. Look at him flying in there.
You know, Harrison used to run that play with Robbie Godhide, and it was a killer. I mean, it was just unbelievable. You as a Georgia Tech man.
I fully expected him to end up on somebody's roster in the NFL.
Robbie?
Yeah.
We're going to try a 53-yard field goal here. He's got the leg. We've seen that already.
What was that first one, 49?
Yeah. Yep. The first one was made it by plenty of distance. That's a good kick. That is going to be right down the middle. That's good.
No, it's wide.
Wide?
Yep.
Oh,
Wide to the right.
Kick is no good.
it went wide right.
Yep.
Okay. It's still a pretty good looking kick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, when you said it was good, I kind of was thinking the same thing. What I did was I leaned forward and I looked at the official underneath the goalpost
And he leaned.
and the way he was looking at it.
Here we go. Here we go.
Start at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, you can kind of see the official. It's hard to
Oh,
see
yeah.
in the replay.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I
see-
saw it. Yep. You're a great call. Good. Well, that's a real break for the Raiders. Great defensive stand there as they pick up the sack and then stop the the run by Craner on the inside handoff, and the Raiders take over. Schaub still your quarterback. Ball at the 20-yard line. 6:27. The good thing about that drive was it took up a lot of time and no points.
It did.
Here's a toss to KK. He cuts it back. He's going to run into nothing but red helmets and white jerseys.
It was a toss to the right, and KK immediately cut back to the left. I think he was trying to get the defense leaning one way and then come back the other way, but Milton did a good job defensively there.
Raiders need a couple of first downs here. 5:59, Tim. Raiders clinging to a 17-10 lead against the Milton Eagles, who have been impressive throughout the season. But so have the Raiders. Here we go. Schaub throws the ball. Caught. Oh, and dropped.
Tell you what, there's been a lot of drops tonight.
Cole Watts, who's been there all night for us, drops that one. And it stops the clock.
Yeah, only a sophomore. He's going to have a lot more opportunities. He's made some big plays this year for this Walton offense.
Third down and 8. Long 8, short 9. I don't care how you call it. Here's the pass. Floats it towards Letton, and that is an incomplete pass. And we took off less than a minute on the clock there, and the Raiders are going to punt.
Well, the Walton offense putting a lot of pressure on their defense tonight. So far, they've been up to the challenge.
Well, the Raiders need a good punt here by Fitzpatrick. He stands on his 8-yard line. Raiders 3 and out on that series. Didn't take a lot of time off the clock. Rugby punts it low. This is going to be a hard spinner. There we go. Bounce. Tim, this is where oh, come on. Don't let it go backwards, guys. There we go. We tap it down at the 42, 41-yard line.
That's where Milton will take over. 5.5 minutes left in this ball game.
Man. Does this defense have 5.5 more minutes of excellent play in them? I guess we'll find out.
Well, that was unfortunate because the Raiders had a pass that was dropped that would have been a first down, and then the third down incompletion really just stopped the clock. So the Eagles get the ball back quickly after missing the field goal. Here's the handoff to Turner. Now Turner's running better here in the second half.
Yeah, because he was hit right at about the line of scrimmage and was
picked up almost 4.
Yep. And Jason Rooks once again getting up really slowly.
Injured play on the field for Milton.
They've got a player down. I didn't see him.
It's one of the offensive linemen, I believe. The clock stopped with 5:12 to go here in the fourth quarter. Been a terrific game. Thank you for watching us on Raider Vision tonight.
Pete said it's number 85, which would be
the tight end,
Jake English.
Yep. Senior tight end for the Eagles.
Nope. This might be a good thing for the Walton defense. Give them a little time to rest here.
The Eagles have a 2nd down and 6. The ball just shy of the 45-yard line, their own 45. 5:12 left here in the fourth quarter. I mean, just a number of guys, Tim, we now have playing both ways. And you've got KK Brooks out here basically playing man coverage all night at the cornerback as well as tailback.
Yep, and he's returning punts. Yep. And there's been
a lot of
And there's been a lot of punts.
Now McLeod dropped back. Instant pressure up the middle. And the Raiders let him get free. There's a lot of running room on the left side. He cuts upfield. Raiders still can't bring him down. He's finally tackled at the 43.
Boy, that was a big miss by Goodman.
Yeah, sometimes you really have to just kind of break down and bring him down. Don't try to just blow him up, but just bring him down.
And I don't like seeing him punch the turf either after he misses the sack. He's walking back towards the new spot of the football, and he's kind of flexing his hand after punching the turf.
So the Eagles have it. First down at the Raider 41. McLeod with a big scramble there. Handoff to Brisker. He is brought down after a 2-3 yard gain, but they are getting a push on that defensive line that wasn't quite there earlier in the game.
4:35 left to go in this one.
Brisker tackled after a gain of about 3 by Taji Stewart.
I've got Chris Berman in my head. Tick, 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 tick.
7 for the Eagles. Approaching 4 minutes.
You've got some guys out there playing hurt, playing both ways.
Handoff to Brisker up the middle. He's hit immediately, and he's brought down after a 2-3 yard gain, and that brings up 3rd down and 4. Good defense there by the Raiders.
Taji Stewart on the tackle, and he's one of the guys out there playing hurt. We got Jason Rooks, who's really banged up. He's fighting through it tonight.
3rd down and 4. Raiders defense ready to go. McLeod in the shotgun. Actually, the pistol. Here's the handoff to Brisker. Brisker gets up the middle. He's going to get the 1st down and get some more as he was hit, and then drives forward to the 27-yard line for the 1st down. Initial contact was made 2-3 yards after the handoff, but Brisker was able to take it for another 5-6 yards and pick up the 1st down. And Eagles once again moving towards that red zone.
Down under 3.5 minutes now.
Turner back in at running back, number 7 for the Eagles. Here's a quick pass out to the perimeter. Oh! Now that was one. If Stewart had maybe seen it a little bit quicker, that ball was yelling pick 6.
It sure was. There was no one else out there. And I think he was thinking more, let's make this hit and dislodge the ball. We'll see the replay here.
Right, just don't give up the big play,
right.
Which, I can't fault of course, for that at all.
I think we're going to have it's a timeout called by Milton.
3:16 left here in the 4th quarter. Milton down by a touchdown, calls a timeout with a 2nd down and 10, ball at the 24-yard line, 23-yard line. Raiders have scored on a muff punt that resulted in a KK Brooks short touchdown run, field goal, and then the
fumble return for a touchdown.
Block punt return for a touchdown by Rogie.
Block punt, yeah.
So the punting, the special teams have come through for points this week for the Raiders, and the special teams look good. We've got the field goal, and the punting has been nice by Fitzpatrick. He's been doing that rugby punt, and they've been terrific.
Yeah.
What?
No, I just started laughing when you said we got the field goal because I remembered how beautiful that kick was as it just barely cleared the crossbar. But, hey, you know what? It counts.
Hey, man. Right now, those 3 points look awful good.
They sure do. So this would be a huge one, obviously, for the Raiders if they're able to hold up here. A 4th quarter score from Region 5, Lassiter is leading Cherokee 38-21, and that one would be huge as well. I can go through all the standings here, but let's just say that Cherokee is ahead of Walton in the region standings.
Right, you got Cherokee, Woodstock, and Etowah kind of all up there underneath of Milton, and we're right below that. So we've got 2nd down and 10. Turner, the running back, behind McLeod. McLeod takes the ball. He rolls to the left. He looks downfield. This should be picked off, and it's no!
Taquar Stewart had that one go right through his hands. We've had so many drops, Kurt, on the offensive side of the ball, and there is just a drop by Taquar, and he knows it.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep, that's just he knew it right away, and it's tough to see that because that could have been a game ender right there.
Bummer. Oh. All right, 3rd down and 10. At the end of the day, it's still an incompletion, but boy, I thought that Stewart had that one.
This is you gotta forget about that right now. Just
Brisker, the running back, drops back to pass. Got time, throws it across the middle, and it's caught at the 4-yard line.
Man, I thought that ball came out for a second.
Pass is complete to
Wow.
Fortune. Good for first down on the
That's a tough one.
5-yard line. First
You know
and
what?
goal,
That
Milton.
was a good throw.
3 Raiders right there, but McLeod puts it right into the small space. And that brings up first and goal, ball at the 4. 3:02 to go. Hand off to Brisker, and he's going to walk in.
Yep, that's what he did with his other touchdown. Just walked right in there.
Brisker in for a 5-yard touchdown, Milton.
So the Raiders go from having that potential turnover to seeing the Eagles score 2 plays later, and we have a 17-16 game with 2:55 left to go. Raiders have time on offense. This is not a desperate moment, but a disappointing moment.
We've seen a punt get blocked here tonight, Kurt.
Snap down, kick is up, and it's good.
All right.
2:55 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Raiders 17 and the Eagles 17.
Just under 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Time for that Raider offense to respond. Raiders have 2:55 left to go. A tie game. Here we go. We have a timeout on the field from TV. Oh, man.
Well, the defense.
Oh, man.
The defense has been tremendous tonight, Kurt. and
It has been.
You know, the offense really hasn't helped them out a whole lot, and
No.
and this is their chance, though. This is their chance for redemption here. 2:55 left to go. This is the offense's chance to really come through, and we'll see if we see the sophomore quarterback back out there. Shout.
Well, the Raiders had a 17-3 lead, third quarter, and an interception, some 3 and outs, and the Raiders weren't able to take advantage of the 14-point lead. And the Eagles, being the senior team that they are, Tim, have really just taken advantage of just some of that Raider youth, Raider depth,
Yep.
and they've been able to move the ball. But boy, we had some chances here.
Yep, dropped interception.
Drop pass.
And talk about the offense having a chance to redeem themselves. We saw this last week. Taquar Stewart, a big kickoff return last week. We'll see if maybe he can put together another one of those here tonight. That would be a huge boost to this offense to help them have some really good field position here with this what we hope is going to be a game-winning touchdown drive. Chance for Taquar to maybe offset that dropped interception with a long return.
We've seen some wild endings here at Raider Valley over the years, Tim. That Wheeler game really jumps to mind a couple of years ago. So the Raiders, with 2:55 left, have their chance on offense. This is one of those situations that you don't want a 3 and out. You've got to generate offense here, regardless of whether it's you score. You need to generate some offense. Everybody's on the field and ready to go. A little bit different body languages on the 2 sidelines right now, Tim.
Yeah.
I would describe the Walton side as pensive, and I would describe the Milton side as enthusiastic.
Yeah, I mean, the momentum has shifted their way. They were down 17-3 in this football game.
Suited a kickoff. Wolfenstort deep for the Raiders. Here's the kick. This one's going to be short. It's going to be returnable. Stewart will take it at the 4. He's at the 10. He's got some room. He's at the 20. He breaks it up over the 20 to the 25, and he comes down at the 26. Good field position.
Nice little return by Taquar.
For a minute there,
Yep.
there was a little
window.
The outside contain squeezed it a little bit.
You see the return, the replay here. And watch that little hole right there open up. But the coverage unit does a good job for Milton to close that hole up pretty quickly.
All right, Josh is back in at quarterback. Josh White in at quarterback for the Raiders. 2:55 to go. Handoff to KK. KK gets nothing.
Yep.
2:42 to go.
KJ Brooks on the carry, no gain. Looks like number 14, Cortez Stout on the tackle.
Clock rolling at 2:33, 2:30 to go. Second down and 10. Raiders need some first downs here, Tim. Not even worried about scoring as much as we just need some momentum. Here comes the pressure from the outside, throws.
Oh, nice try by Takor to bring that one down. It was thrown high, and Josh White was under a lot of pressure.
High and behind him. Josh looking like that foot might be bothering him a little bit. Oh, Josh got hit very hard. Stewart almost able to reach back and make that catch. 2:17 to go. 3rd and 10 for the Raiders. Here comes pressure. He stands in the pocket. Hey, Roy, holding. And it's intercepted by the Eagles.
Wow. Oh, boy. Walton had a 2-touchdown lead in this football game.
Well, when we thought the penalty might be the worst outcome there, the interception was far worse. So the Raiders defense needs to step up here big. You've got a kicker for the Eagles who has shown the ability to.
Let's see if we can catch the hold.
That's right.
I didn't really see it.
That was kind of. I really didn't see the hold, but the interception, it really wouldn't have made much of a difference.
Yep, and that's Obi Fortune, who spends a lot of time as a wide receiver, so he's playing both ways as well.
2:07 to go. Ball on the 27-yard line. Raiders defense needs to make it happen. Need a turnover, pick six, fumble return, missed field goal. There's a lot of bad things that could happen here, Tim.
I'm going to say you need a turnover because the kicker's got that strong leg.
Yep. Here's a handoff up the middle, Turner, and he is knocked down.
The ball came out. The ball came out.
Raiders got the ball. They're going to say he was down.
I don't know if they're going to say he's down. They're trying to see who's got the ball. Walton thought they had it immediately. They ran away thinking they had the football.
Oh, let's have something good happen here. Need a break. Need a break. Need a break.
They're still on piling.
Milton's got the ball.
Yep. Garrett Eldred is not happy. Well, if they fumbled once, they can fumble again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was just a warm-up fumble.
And you see the ball get ripped out. Came out as he was going down. Got to take advantage of these opportunities. We've had a dropped interception. We've had a fumble on the ground that we couldn't get.
2nd down and 9. Here's the handoff to Brisker. Brisker up the middle. He's hit hard.
He's still on his feet. Did they never whistle him down? Did they never whistle his forward progress?
I don't know how you can because he bounced it outside. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 9. Because Brisker went straight ahead, had a huge hit at around the 20-yard line, and then bounced back.
That was a weird play. He had picked up about 7 or 8 yards when he got hit.
Yeah, 3rd down and 9. All right, here we go, Raiders. 1:20 to go. Clock rolling. 3rd down and 9. Here's the handoff to Brisker. Brisker up the middle. He's got running room. He's down at the 19-yard line, and I think we're going to see the field goal team. I think the Raiders should take a timeout right now.
Brisker brought down by
and they do.
Well, it all comes down to this. The Walton offense will have some time. Not a lot of time.
This will be a 35-yard field goal from the right hash. Easy to miss. I've seen lots of field goals missed from the right hash and the left hash.
Yep. You're right. It's a big difference kicking from those hashes than straight on.
Absolutely. Raiders and the Eagles tied 17-17. Been a terrific game here tonight. Raiders have given the Eagles everything they could ask for. But this blocked field goal in return for a touchdown by the Raiders is really going to send this crowd on its head.
How about a snap over the holder's head? How about that?
I like that one. The old snap that hits the field goal kicker right in the face mask. or just keeps rolling back to the 50.
Yeah, a snap that just kind of dribbles along the ground the whole time.
All right. Ethan Sue to the kicker. 26 yards. 36 yards, excuse me. Hip down. That is going to be wide left. No good.
That's good. Oh, boy.
I thought it was wide left.
You know, and another thing, Kurt, we had a couple guys who got in there, and I thought they had a chance to block it.
1:05 to go.
Just one timeout remaining for the Raiders. Now, you know what? I'll say this. Against Pope, Walton was able to move the ball down the field at the end of the first half and at the end of the game, just throwing little sideline routes, 8, 10, 12 yards at a time to Bailey Wolf. And they were able to move the ball down the field with very little trouble.
Only need a field goal. Need a good return here. 1:05 to go. Fourth quarter. Raiders have one timeout left. They took a timeout to stop the clock, though, when Milton had the ball for the field goal.
All right, Stewart at a kickoff. DeQuar Stewart, Bailey Wolf back deep for the Raiders. 65 seconds left in regulation.
Raiders awaiting the kickoff. Trailing by 3 with 1:05 to go here at Raider Valley. Raiders had a 17-3 lead, but the Eagles have come back with 17 of their own points. The last 3 came after an interception. Here we go. 1:05 left. This is going to be short and should be returnable. Stewart's going to take it at the 3. He's at the 10. He cuts it upfield. He's going to be hit by a lot of white jerseys at the 13, and the Raiders have a long way to go in a short period of time.
Yeah, as a returner and a running back, it's a good thing a lot of times to be patient and wait for your blocks to develop, and I think that DeQuar kind of sat back a little too long on that return there, waiting for something to open up. Sometimes you really got to try to make it happen yourself, and now Walton's got themselves a big hole. They're going to have to go, 87 yards.
Shout back in at quarterback. He rolls to his right. That's not going to get it done.
Yeah, you got to get out of bounds. I mean,
49 seconds to go. Ball on the 17-yard line.
The clock's rolling too.
Clock is running.
Got to snap the ball, guys.
35 seconds to go. Raiders have got to get it going here. Drops back to pass, lots of pressure, and it's incomplete.
He might have been across the line of scrimmage. I didn't see a flag come in, but it looked like he was real close.
25 seconds left, and we are now approaching miracle time.
Yeah, and they're putting Josh in, which is really difficult for either of these quarterbacks to get any kind of rhythm.
Josh has the bigger arm. Definitely the guy that can get the ball downfield for you.
Well, right now, they just need to get 7 yards.
Third down and 7. 25 seconds to go. Raiders deep in their own territory. And here comes pressure by the Eagles. Josh on the run.
Well, Wolf caught it. It's going to be good enough for a first down.
First down, caught by Wolf. 17 seconds left to go. Looks like Josh is going to spike this one. And he does. And the clock didn't move.
Josh White spikes the ball. 17 seconds.
Well, Sam letting down the seam, catching the ball on the dead run at about the 50 would be nice. 2 plays left here, Tim.
Yep, empty backfield. KK's in a slot left. He's another dangerous target.
Well, we've got 3 to the right, 2 to the right, 3 to there we go. Josh in trouble. Throws it out of bounds. It'll bring up 10 seconds left to go.
I don't know what the flag is.
They're going to call intentional grounding.
There was a receiver.
I can't see that would be a good call.
And I think he was also outside of the tackle box. There was a receiver in the air, and it looks like that's what one of the officials just came over and pointed at.
You had a receiver just right near the down markers. 10 seconds left to go here. 2nd down, but that really doesn't matter. The Raiders are a long way from.
They're going to wave off the flag. Yeah,
they are. That's a good call. The Raiders are a long way from the glory of the end zone. 3rd down. 10 to go. Ball on the 24-yard line. The Raiders 76 yards from what they need, which is a touchdown to win this game. Here we go. Josh ready to go. Three receivers to the left, and the Raiders are going to use their final time. Oh, nope, Milton takes his last time out. I don't understand why Milton doesn't have a center fielder back here, Tim, as they get ready to play defense.
Don't give him any ideas. I don't get it either. Lassiter still leading Cherokee, 38-21. That will help the Raiders either way, no matter how this game turns out here at Raider Valley.
Right.
If that one stands. There's a couple others that are going the Raiders' way. Roswell is leading Woodstock 42-30. The Raiders need that to happen.
All right, that's good.
And the other one was also going the Raiders' way, I believe. I'm not sure if this one matters or not, but Wheeler is leading Pope 35-14. That one is a 3rd quarter score.
All right, Josh, 10 seconds to go. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Raiders are 76 yards away. White takes the snap. He gets back. Pressure coming. He rolls. And that's going to be it, folks. 3, 2, 1.
Yep, that is it.
And the Milton Eagles come away with a hard-fought 20-17 victory as they take advantage of some Walton turnovers and just, inexperience, Tim. The Eagles are a senior-laden team. The Raiders had it there, but at the end of the day, Raiders come up short by 3 points.
Yeah, and it was also missed opportunities by the Raiders. The Raiders had everything going their way for most of this game, Kurt. All 17 of Walton's points really came off of Milton miscues. And but the Raiders had an opportunity to create even more breaks for themselves.
Right.
And they just couldn't come through late in the game when it counted.
Well, Raiders offense was struggling to move the ball today, and the defense kept them in the game. But as we said late in the 4th quarter, Tim, it just looked like that defense just got a little worn down. That big offensive line, those running backs from Milton took advantage, and the Eagles come away with a 20-17 victory. So that'll do it here from Raider Valley tonight. Disappointing loss, but a hard-fought game by both teams, and we will see you for the Coach Mo Dixon Show on Monday night. This is Kurt Schreiner along with Tim Burns, Pete English, producer extraordinaire. Hey, we'll see you the next time at Raider Valley. Talk to you later.